Hello, everybody.
Oh shit. Well, hello everybody. I thought that was just you were just like, and yeah, okay. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, we're gonna get a countdown. Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the Sin Providence. Whoa, 3 weeks in a row. Holy shit! It's a new day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a new day. Convention season, though it truly never ends, has lightened. Everybody's kind of getting back to their normal lives for a little bit before Christmas ends, and then convention season starts up for another 9 months.
Y'all, my little baby turned 1.
Isn't that
What?
nuts? Isn't that nuts? Happy birthday to baby.
Yes.
How do you feel, Maggie? How does that make? Is that like is the first birthday? Was that it was like exciting? Was it like mixture of like excitement and anxiety? Because I will never have a child, so
It's a mixture of like, you're like, how has time passed so quickly? And then like the secondary aspect of it is just like really exciting watching them like grow and become their own little person and their own personality and curiosity and like just exploring the world. And it just makes you realize how influential we are as people upon other people. It's scary. It's very scary to raise another human being. So
I can't
say
imagine.
Yeah.
It's scary enough being a DM, and I feel like that's like kind of like being a dad for sure.
yeah,
So-
you're
in so many
our
ways.
DM dad.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
I feel like that's a little weird because you're like the same age as me.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody.
I don't have
And
a good dad, so you can be my dad, Mathis. Sure.
I'm not. I can't be a good dad. Are you kidding me? Look at me. My goal is to like throw you through emotional turmoil. I'm not here to put you and raise you up. I'm here to tear you down and make
Look,
you raise yourself.
I used to send Mathis birthday presents all the time and stuff, and he's like, stop.
Did you? Did I say stop?
And, well, you're like, I hope you're not expecting this from me.
Oh man, I just
At least
forget. I'm
you-
so bad. That's the thing is like I hate. I do just like I find it uncomfortable. People are like, happy birthday. Here's something I sent you, and I'm like, bro, I forget everyone's birthday and then to send them something unless I'm like
I try
with them.
so hard to
Mhm.
remember like all my friends' birthdays, and if I miss you, I'm so sorry. But I feel like I'm pretty good every year. I don't know.
I'm that classic like ADHD forget if you're not in front of me I forget you, like not forget you, but I don't actively like
It's object
engage.
permanency.
And every
Yeah.
once in a while I'm like I need to let them all know I actually care and like enjoy
Aw.
their company. And, like,
Yeah.
that's when you get a random message from me. I'm like, hey, I just want you to know. Anyway,
Aw,
we're not
when
like
Mathis is
trauma
feeling
dumping. It's just how
sappy.
it goes, bro. That's just how it goes. We've been doing this shit for like we have been. Oh, this other thing we were talking about is we've been doing this shit. We've been doing the vampire together for almost a decade.
Yeah.
A decade.
And I've known
Maybe a
Mathis for a
decade.
long time. Like we were talking about
Before
how
that.
long we all know each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been
Mhm.
doing YouTube since my first video went out in 2011. StarCraft.
You were a little
Mhm.
baby. We were all StarCraft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
maybe not
Another
Bub.
But now-
crazy shit.
Not
Tracy,
Bob, but we realized
me, and
our-
Mike. Yeah.
Our origins are in the StarCraft days, so that
Yeah, I was casting. I was like, I'm gonna be a pro caster for StarCraft.
Yeah, I met you. Did I meet you through TB?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm almost
I thought so,
positive. Like, yeah, and I met TB through being like on the farm team of Maker Studios and them
yeah.
Wow.
having run
Oh
out
my
of every
gosh.
single guest for co-optional they had, and they were like, "Hey, we need somebody like in an hour," and I was like, "Sure, I'll go on."
I
And,
loved
that was-
co-optional. I actually
Yeah.
sent Jenna like a couple of weeks ago. I sent Jenna a link to one. It was like an all girls one. I think it was like Elspeth actually, I think was on there, and me and Jenna and somebody else. Oh, and of course Dex. And we were all I was just like, oh, I miss those days. I'm like, we need
I know, it's
a girl
crazy.
power podcast. I was like, that was so good.
It's great. It's crazy to be nostalgic for an earlier era of content creating. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, every year that went by, I'm like, oh, if I could just do this for one more year, that'd be
Now we
so
all just need to
sick.
get together and dance to Demon Hunter, and then we'll get popular.
I've never seen Demon Hunter,
Demon
but I'll
Hunter.
dance
K-pop
to their
Demon
music.
Hunters,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's popular. But
it's
I've never
funny.
watched it.
Like another just quick aside is like my parents when they would talk about like the 80s, like, oh, that time. Like we talk about things that happened like decades ago now that it's
I
like
know.
that was like an era. Like our parents talked about the 80s or something like that. And I'm just like, oh my God, or like the 70s. And I'm like, oh God.
I see often how like other people of our generation are like the younger generation is ripping off millennial fashion and they're showing like all of our like the 90s fashion.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, the white
does
Like
nobody
the
remember
little vests.
when we were kids and bell-bottom jeans were coming back in like
Yes.
the 60s? I'm like, we
Yeah.
did the same thing to
Yeah, we
like
did.
the
Mhm.
equal
I
amount of
love bell
time.
bottoms.
Yeah, I remember bell-bottoms coming back and all that shit, and my mom being like, "Oh my God, bell-bottom jeans," and I'm just like, "What are those?" You know, it's just like we just gonna. And then when Gen Alpha and Gen Z is adult, we'll see what is it, Gen Beta? What the fuck is after Alpha?
How many of us were like kindergartners in those crazy bright, like windbreakers?
Oh my God, yeah,
Yes.
those, yeah, that can hear.
Yeah. Yeah,
as
that
I'm
was
running
Oh
in
yeah,
them.
they made so much
God.
noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like a
man.
bell on a cat. You're not gonna miss your toddler. Just
It's
put one of those
crazy.
things on there.
Oh, are we doing a shared stream? I forgot to rename the
No,
stream.
no,
if
we're not.
possible.
We're not. Not
Okay,
today.
okay, cool. Sorry,
I ain't got
reminiscing.
time for that today.
Reminiscing hour, everybody. We've all been doing this for a long. And like I said, before that, even before that, we as a crew have been playing Vampire together for about 10 years.
It's closing that
just
gap, yeah.
about. Yeah, was it 2016?
Even
we
more
started?
for we did Requiem too before as well.
You and I did. Yeah,
It's
yeah. But
20
these guys weren't involved.
2017. My niece was 4 years old, and she messaged me yesterday to follow her as she's starting her high school's depression care TikTok. So think about
Wow.
that.
First
From
of all,
4
great
to
idea.
TikTok?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's
That's
no,
intense.
dude.
Mhm.
I remember when my fucking niece was born and like seeing her in the mall. Now she's 10.
Yeah.
And being and like you're a person. Oh God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It is crazy. Time is a thief. And if this tells you anything, dear viewer, appreciate every moment. Like, don't worry so much about the work because that's
Crazy.
not the thing you're going to regret later. You know, what you're going to regret is the people, the time that you spend with those people, the memories that you create. Like, if I could give you one thing, that would be what I
Real.
would say.
Real.
Yeah.
In a way, that's why we kept doing Vampire together. We learned we loved creating this shit together, content wise, and like we were gonna do it private or public, one way or another. You know, like, and just find the shit that you love. Don't stop doing it.
Yeah.
And if that is making your players cry in a game, that's fine.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to get Betty to cry. Come on, Mathis.
I don't know if I'll ever get Betty to cry. I think Betty. We were talking about it last week. We were doing. I don't know, but we're talking about who's most likely to kick it first. Like in this campaign, who is like
Betty's gonna die. Betty could die first for sure.
I think we were talking about that in the after show, which last week, if you haven't, by the way, if you're part of the Patreon, patreon.com/podbynight, there's a couple tiers. You can get audio at a $5 tier, video at 10. But last week's after show was over an hour long. And there was we're in that phase where I get to sit back and just watch you all
Squirm.
start puzzling things together, squirm, but like the early phases of like the story are out there, and just like it's a lot of just like watching everybody kind of brainstorm and start putting pieces together, and then your individual plot lines, and it's just really fun to watch. And I would love to say more, but I can't yet. That just is not much.
Go
to
watch
say for
the
me right
after
now.
show.
The like upside downside, right, is that Tracy and Maggie get to experience it all for the first time again, right? So you guys are gonna come in. Like, I'm just gonna throw out a couple of words, see where it lands. Hagia Sophia. Any idea what that is?
Yes, it is. Isn't it a ancient or a wonder? Yes.
Yes.
I know that because I play a lot of Civ.
Yes. You are
Yeah,
correct.
it's one of
You
the
are
one of the
absolutely
wonders.
correct.
Yeah.
It is
You
one
can
of the
build it in
wonders of
Civ.
Civ. Yeah. It's an old building.
So then,
Yes.
how do you think that stands when you realize that it's one of David's only existing memories?
Oh. Are you
That-
old?
You are
Sal?
old. You are. Yeah, I was like, we immediately were like, you're old.
That's an assumption because that number came from a Malkavian, of which they were like, what do we know about that? And somebody said maybe it was a year, and David did a roll, and he's like, oh, 537. That's when, and then he's like, Hagia Sophia is involved with that year in some way, and he like created it on aluminum.
What we did was, like, I was trying to drum back through the memories, trying to pull back into what I could recall about that year, and I just started drawing a building that I didn't know what it was. And then Leon was like, that's the Hagia Sophia. That's an ancient church. Huh? And that's kind of as far as it went.
Like, huh? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, nobody knows what it means right now. But there's some ideas, but yeah. But we'll get to that because we got to get into this game. It's going to open up with like 3 separate scenes as we get everybody kind of together.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned earlier, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support us, following us here on Twitch is the easiest way. Subscribing to our YouTube channel is the next easiest way, which is youtube.com/adpodbynight. All the episodes go live over there like a day or two later. And if you do, support us over at Patreon, you get the after show usually a couple days after the main show. And you get audio and video depending on your tier. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can also subscribe to the Twitch channel. Everything here goes supporting the show, gets the art, the music, all that stuff you see that's for the show. That's because of you guys. You were able to, you supporting us allowed us to get some custom artwork stuff for the show done. And join our Discord as well. That's the last thing. That's right. The Discord is totally free to jump into. There's a huge community of over 1,000 people there. There's always some sort of conversation happening, whether it be about the show or memes or just like in general life chat. It's a great community over there. Other than that, I don't think there's really any other places I can point you to. If you want, you know what? Something I will bring up because I tend to forget is we are also, it's irregular as we do it, but we are taking these episodes and launching an audio version of them, obviously, just on the Pod by Night podcast feed. You'll see it separate. It says Sin Providence. It has a different logo next to the next to the show itself. But if you want, or like if you ever want to like revisit or listen to the shows in audio form, you can also follow us over on all the whatever podcast app is your preferred. And basically, we're just ripping them pretty much just raw audio, clipping out the break in between and just popping it up there. So it's not like our Pod by Night series where we're getting like music and sound effects and all that stuff edited. It is just the audio of the stream over there for you guys to listen to. So if you guys are, looking to refresh your memory on anything or just want to listen preferably, you can do that there. I keep forgetting to tell people about that. All right. Is that it? Have I remembered everything? Cool. Then without further ado, let's set the scene, rein things in, and I can, as I've been able to say for the past few episodes now, see what our coterie by Camarilla Law is up to, which Betty, you are not technically a part of, and neither is technically Leon, because you both did not go to New York on that night when you were not supposed to. You obeyed the law. So, Bub, why don't you give us
influenced everybody to not obey the law.
Exactly. You, honest to God, Betty is a fucking chaos firecracker. And I'm always here for it. Listen, you guys have put me through the fire and the coals of like chaos decisions in DMing this game. So I'm prepared for it. But Bub, want to give us a quick breakdown as to what happened last week, since you're the only player here who was. And then obviously we'll pick up where we left off last week before we then cut over to Betty and Elspeth and see what they're doing.
I'm just going to give it a quick and dirty so we can dive right in. So this might dial back just a hair, but we went to meet Leon's sire. She was absolutely kooky pants. Her name's Hattie. Lovely, spooky Junji Ito lady. She had a lot and nothing to say at the same time. Didn't really know what to make of it, but we made things of it. And
that's where the number 537 came from.
Correct. That's where David was influenced to draw, or at least drum up the memory of the Hagia Sophia. Upon the return, what happened there? That was
moved into the quarry, essentially.
Yeah, we're affectionately a part of the quarry now in our little coterie, though we haven't had Elspeth back at this point. Janet had all of our belongings moved. David kept 10 books. Janet moved everything else. The boys are now officially a part of the mob. We had a visitor at the quarry by the name of Jump Scare James. He was a YouTube content creator with, I think he said sub 30 followers.
He was almost at 15 subscribers. Almost.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was 15 subscribers. That's right. Which David didn't know how to handle, so he told Janet, and Janet chased him out, told him that she would call his mother.
What was his name again? Jump Scare
James. Yeah, Jump Scare James.
Yeah,
Leon informed
the name of the ghost that haunts the quarry.
Minecraft.
I was on an alliteration thing. Minecraft Marty.
Marty. I was going to say Maury, but yeah, it's Minecraft Marty.
We have a ghost?
Yeah, I'm sure we do, or we will.
I mean, there will be one out of necessity via certain things that Janet took on her character sheet, but like right this moment, no, Minecraft Marty does not actually haunt the quarry.
Janet
the
annexed
quarry
his
is
phone.
older than Minecraft.
yeeted his phone into the flooded part of the quarry. She expressed to Leon that this place needed to be Fort Knoxed up, needed to be locked up, like she said, like Jurassic Park.
Yep.
And that triggered a memory in David. David went on a bit of
Like Michael Crichton.
yeah, he was like a very excited 9-year-old. He started to explain Michael Crichton and Jurassic Park, and he compared Magpie to Dennis Nedry, and that he was going to sneak the dinosaur embryos out of Jurassic Park, and that there was a lot there.
Which is
IRL, I'm a big Michael Crichton fan, so there is definitely some influence to that. Janet more or less explained that we were going to take David to the library where we met Peggy. Peggy was lovely. Just a ray of sunshine in a rather dark climate and dark and cloudy world. She was very, very peaceful, raw and rare, and that's not something that David's had an opportunity to see yet. Leon has ghouled, or is in the final throes of ghouling Magpie.
On Janet's orders.
Yep. We took the Bruja. He came to fight us, but had his face blown out. He is good now.
That's right. The Bruja healed up completely, and they got to have a conversation with him.
He's good now. And he is mad that David fed on that woman in the park. Turns out that was one of his family. So he came here to throw down. But yeah, he found out that it wasn't the case. In fact, he was like, I kind of owe you guys for saving my life once or twice over.
Like, clicked really well, especially with him and Janet in particular, were like brutally honest with each other to the point of like obvious respect. And then at the end, they're like, yeah, we can work together. We can make this happen.
Yep.
We're going to find, they basically were like, let's find it who did this together. He also said that he went ahead of the Bruja War Council, kind of came to your doorstep without their say so, to literally kill you or die trying, because he was convinced it was you guys who killed her, until he got his neck blown out from behind him, which also sent the coterie into a speculation circle of like, did they know he was a kindred? If they did, why didn't they finish him off? And then him and Janet came to the conclusion, well, not the conclusion, but the theory that maybe you guys are being framed for some reason.
Yeah. Leon discovered that there was a series of heartbeats on the playback of the CCTV. Man.
It's also becoming clear that it's not sure what of Leon info is trustworthy or not, what he can believe is like useful, because because you guys met the Malkavian sire, and Leon's was pretty upfront about being like, I don't know what I'm seeing is real or not.
Leon doesn't believe in magic. Leon doesn't believe in ghosts. And Magpie told him that he's loony for not believing in magic. And David told him that it's silly that he doesn't believe in ghosts, because he's seen them. And
he's a vampire.
and exactly. And we're vampires. So that wasn't even really like a terse roundabout. It's just like, oh, you'll figure out. You'll find out.
And Janet wants Magpie to ward the entire quarry.
Yeah.
And that concerns Magpie, because he said it took him like months to even prepare to ward the tiny room he was in, and he's very concerned that he won't be able to do it, and if Janet will shoot him if he can't.
Yeah, and we were given a name of a Tremere that more or less harassed Magpie into doing this for him. Made some promises that he would get paid a lot of money, and told him that if he didn't do it, and he gave him an example of what didn't do it looked like, he turned his dog inside out, like with blood magic. And that was enough to have Magpie say, sir, yes, sir.
Yep, pretty much.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We ended at the library, where David asked Peggy for what your most private room was. Because it's like kind of open pretty late for a library. It's early in the evening. You were given one of the rooms in the back. She's like, nobody fucking comes in this library anyway. Not quite that rude. She's actually very nice about it. And you began doing something in the back room. Then as we begin, make sure you heal David from last session. If anybody had any healing willpower, whatever, make sure you heal up. But I want, obviously, just to get us going here, Betty and Elspeth just to roll me their rouse checks for the evenings. Betty had a hunger 2, not too shabby. Elspeth is a success. What's your hunger? Is it a 1?
I believe, yes, it's a hunger 1.
Okay. So last time, so the scene we left off in, and I will repaint it for everybody, is a empty back room of a small public library in the small town of Waltham, which sits about 15 to 20 minutes outside of Boston, still part of New England Camarilla proper, just the outskirts of it, which is where the town that the quarry is located in, and the little library that David found himself in, not the Boston public one, but the local Waltham library. And in that back room where our camera moves through the empty library to see 1 or 2 people looking at some books and Peggy behind her desk, sitting back down after pointing you in the direction of the room. We sweep through a few of the aisles of books until we slip under the door that just clicked shut. A plain kind of like gray rugged room, that very short, hard rug that has speckles of color kind of through it in a playful, almost light way. A very plain, cheap wooden table in the center with about 6 chairs, 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and then a few disparate ones that don't really belong to them also in this room, having been used probably most recently by a giant group of students or something along those lines. As you click the door shut and the window is open, the moonlight from the full moon is spilling in. And when you hit all the lights in the room, it's actually the strongest shadow that you can generate here, which is what we see David doing. He's looking around and sees his shadow. He flicks the light off and then stands in the window and realizes the moonlight is actually the strongest shadow. And as he looks down at his own shadow being cast into the frame of the window where the light spills in, we see him kind of look as to where his head is before he pops the cork on his little bottle that he keeps dangling around his neck, pours out gently 2, I keep wanting to say daisies, but it's daffodils, correct? Or no, it is daisies.
It's dandelions.
Dandelions. Triple D's, dude. Dandelions, as he spills them out gently onto his palm, and then walks to where the head, the shape of his head was on the shadow, and places 1 in each where the eyes would be. From what you remember from the last time you had the urge to do it. And then you step back, and that's really where our camera kind of fully comes into focus as we're like at the top of the corner of the room, getting a nice, almost fisheye lens shot of both you, your shadow, and the entire room. And as you take your position in the flower goes into your eyes. Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'll remember, dude. It'll happen. You know how I am. It takes me 900 sessions of fucking something up before it finally sticks. You stand there, and immediately, nothing happens. You kind of look at it, maybe tilt your head. You're like, that's all I had to do last time. You don't hear an inner voice. But what I will ask of you is for a point. What's your willpower at right now?
I have 4 willpower.
Okay, I'm gonna sap a point of your willpower here, and I need you to make me a rouse check. Good. What's your hunger? Is it at 1 normally right now, or is it already? Okay, cool. So you're because you had just fed on some goats in a nearby zoo, petting zoo. So you spend, I'd say, about 5 minutes. Maybe we see David. I'm curious, handing off the reins to you for a moment here, Bub. If it doesn't work immediately, what do you see David doing? I imagine he doesn't put the daffodils or whatever away. Dandelions. Doesn't put them away, but just as you look, does he kind of like stand there, and do we see him stand there stoically for a bit until something happens? Does he shuffle around? Do we see him get nervous and try to do anything? I'm just, not that this will affect what I'm about to have happen, but I'm just curious in this snapshot of David being unsure what he does.
I think that David would probably pause for a moment and realize the last time this happened, it was an urge that he didn't really have much control over. And this time it's something that's that he has to beckon to himself because the curiosity is greater than the urge. So if it's not something that occurs immediately, he realizes that there's more to it. And this goes with like everything that he's done up to this point. So he would, for the sake of the rouse, he would rouse the blood. He would try to use basically anything that Janet has taught him, which would be to focus on one's inner self.
When you say when he rouses the blood instinctively, What is David rousing the blood for? Is he like doing breath of life, where he kind of brings a sense of warmth and mortality to his body, or because you can like rouse it to like boost your senses. You basically giving yourself a 2d10 to no pool in particular, just kind of like trying to like empower your blood.
I think that's really it. He's just trying to remember how he felt when
Yep.
he heard the voice say, "Sorry, but this is for you, bud." And he feels like he's trying to encourage the blood to like hit where it hit in his chest, which was like first sensationalized fear, right? Of something
Yeah.
greater than him watching.
I would say there's that thought that David has, right? Like you said, he's trying to remember that feeling that he had when it took over. And you maybe are searching for the words for a minute of like what it would be. Do you have remind me any academics points in academics?
I have 2 points in academics
Perfect.
and
Then
a specialty in
word-
art history.
I think this a word would come to you without any rhyme or reason as to why you would know it. Not that your character's dumb, but uh, trying to put words to how that moment felt. The words that jump to David's mind, whether from the recesses of something separate from him or some part of him that he's forgotten, are the words derealization and depersonalization. If anybody who's had therapy or gone through some stuff, that feeling of feeling like you're living life through a television screen, that everything happening in front of you is not, it's real. It's not that you don't know it's real, but you feel this disconnect. Everything is like, if you've ever seen Evangelion piloting the Ava, as someone I know would say, that kind of feeling of just like not being in fully yourself in your own body. And that's kind of the words that jump to David's mind. When you think back to that moment, you're like, you felt derealized, depersonalized. And maybe even on that feeling is where you kind of let your thoughts linger. This sort of not real meditation, but the pseudo meditation of trying to remember that feeling, kind of dredge that feeling back up, I imagine.
I think, if that's kind of the feeling that he takes, I think that David is going to, he's going to remember and recall something that Elspeth said, and he's going to go to his very first memory of waking up, and he's going to reach for that darkness that held him to see if something there guides him.
Maybe we even see you close your eyes for a minute, maybe even instinctively without realizing one of your hands reaches up to where the stone had been placed. And you let yourself slip back into that memory from that moment of darkness, being kind of in the abyss of it all before being pulled out and kind of introduced into this world as a fresh intelligence. And so you spend the willpower and you spend the rouse check. And the last thing that would come to David's mind is, while it didn't happen last time, as often is the case with abilities, sometimes blood spilling is required. And there is, for lack of a better word, an urge. You look at the dandelions, and the thought that comes to mind is plants can't flourish without being fed. And there's this thought that trickles up that maybe if you drip some of your own vitae on the dandelions themselves, that would help.
Are you asking for another point?
No, I'm just asking if David would do it.
If that's the thought that comes to mind, then yeah, I don't think he would have a second thought about it.
Do you have like a sharp object on you, or would you like bite into your hand with a fang? It doesn't really matter how you do it.
I mean, he probably would just use his fingers to break beyond the skin.
Sure. Yeah, you could probably just like shove your nail deep into your skin or whatever. Where would you do it? Would you just do it on the palm of your hand?
Probably, yeah.
You do so. We see you step over your shadow, then looming over the dandelions, as your face is not on it, and we see you push into the palm of your hand as you drip out some vitae, a couple of drops on each one. A rouse check's worth, if we're being technical, that you've already done. And is this the first time we've seen David bleed?
Yes.
How does David feel? Because every time he's been hit, shot, it's bounced off of him. There's not been really any combat that's actually done any damage. Out of curiosity, he may be completely emotionless on it. Does David seem to react seeing his own blood for the first time?
I mean, he's seen blood.
Yeah, of course.
Does it look any different?
But your skin, I mean, to just to your headspace, not to dictate what your headspace is. There's always this thought of like I look and I seem to be physically built different. I feel like stone. But now that you pierce through your skin, you see you do have vitae. You do bleed. You're not, a stone creature or what have you. You are flesh and blood in some manner, in some way.
I don't know if that changes in David's mind. I
Sure.
think it still establishes the headcanon that David is different than the others, that the others have been injured, they've been cut, he's witnessed people bleed in front of him, and he took a shotgun blast like within 5 feet and nothing happened. So it only reiterates the fact that he is quite literally built different, that he's able to pierce his own skin, but someone else can't.
Sure. And we see, like I said, a couple of thick drops of vitae on each of the dandelions. And as you step back after doing so and into that position, our camera doesn't move, but it continues to push in on the dandelions slowly and more slowly until the dandelions are mostly taking up the frame. And just as David's shadow kind of takes its place and we see the shape of his head again with the dandelions where the eyes would be, in that moment, David, you actually see something happen. The drops of blood that you've kind of haphazardly dripped over them begin to coagulate into two separate whole drops. Slowly, not in like a rapid snap, but in a slow slithering motion as the vitae cohesively comes together. One of them slides to the very bottom of one of the dandelions, while the other one does the same thing. And as they settle at the base of the dandelions, you would see the dandelions themselves, or say the vitae itself, settle up onto the dandelions. And then as they come together, almost like a fertile vitae ground, underneath in that tiny pool of vitae blood, you watch it looks like roots, mycelium, neurons, whatever you want to call it, your own vitae, spread thin and begin to crawl in your direction through your shadow over to you. As it moves, like I said, not super rapidly, but fast enough to catch you by surprise as your own vitae roots or whatever you want to call it, move in your direction through your shadow. This didn't happen last time.
No.
You didn't have to do anything last time.
I take a step to the side. What happens when the moonlight?
Almost like reflexively, like step out of the way?
I mean, he's very confused by it.
Of course.
I think part of the ritual before was because David's shadow had to be right over the top. And if the eyes, if the dandelions are not moving, I think the curiosity would not be to step back as much as it would be to step to the side to see if anything were to happen from breaking the shadow, essentially changing.
Yeah, absolutely. You step off to the side. Again, like I said, not out of worry, but out of curiosity. And as you do so, you watch your own vitae instantly cake to a dark, dark black and dust, leaving the dandelions just sat there.
He'll collect the dandelions. Are the dandelions fine?
Yeah, as you go over to pick them up, and other than the dried, dusty, like little bits of vitae at the bottom, you pick them up and they seem just as fine as they were when you spilled them into your hand.
Okay, then I will put them back in the bottle and I will start looking for Michael Crichton books. If he can't,
yeah, absolutely.
If he can't source anything from that immediately, if he realizes that this kind of call is simply a one-way call, then he will just be brave in the face of whatever fear is before him the next time they call.
Well, I'm curious what his thoughts were on what was happening. What runs through his head when he puts the dandelions back in and like seeing what he saw with his blood?
I think he needs to stew on that for a little bit, because it was only this idea festered from reaching into that dark place from what he saw in the box, which would only be described by someone like Elspeth as the abyss. So it's curious. but he's just not educated enough to know what this means, and he might have to source someone else.
Does and this has no bearing on the moment, but for my own curiosities to your mindset, is David, did it concern him? Was it like a worrying, like if we look at like the expression on his face or the feelings he would have had inside beyond the stoic expression, was it more of a curiosity or was it more like a like, I don't want to fuck
I
with that
want
kind
to
of
I
thing?
want to say that David almost expected something weird to happen because he feels this almost crawling urge to make and to create and to shape things, and it's almost like it's in his blood. So for his blood to almost try to come back to him, that's strange. That weirds him out, but I don't think he's afraid of it. I think it's more of a curiosity. It's almost like a very analytical, scientific approach.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You grab however Michael Crichton books better than I do. You could find probably most of them, if not all of them, in the library itself. Most of them well-worn paperbacks, especially Jurassic Park and whatnot. But is there any ones that you think would pull David's attention the most?
I think he would want to sort of relive Jurassic Park and Lost World just cause. What was the 13th Warrior book? Janet said it's something cannibals. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, I vaguely remember what you're saying too, but I don't remember either. You can check.
Yeah, that's but I would get those, especially if we know that Peggy's gonna let me check them out.
Yeah. All right. You bottle things up, you grab the books, and we'll see you check out. But as you kind of make your way out,
Eaters of the Dead.
Eaters of the Dead. Okay, you grab that one. On your way out, our camera would as you walk out of that back room along with our camera would pick up speed and actually kind of pull away from you. As it slips out from under the door, we would see the sun and the moon rewinding in time by a few days. I think in game, Betty has been separated from the party for about a little under a week, I think.
I think 4 days.
I think it's 4 or 5 days, yeah, as we've done it, because New York and then the Prince was all within a 2 to 3 day span, and then they've been moving out the day after. So I think we're
It's like
technically day
4
5.
days prior.
Yeah, exactly that. And last we saw Betty, other than obviously her application being put to Elspeth's workplace out in Salem, you were following a thread. In particular, you were trying to figure out, obviously, who put the bullet in to Mutt. And your lead at that time, or at least a name that you had for that particular time, was also a ghoul by the name of William that you knew belonged to a venture, correct? That's all you knew about William up to that point?
Yeah. I think that's the main thing that the
And so,
FBI agent Helen Ramsey was
which you
speaking
know
to
are
a ghoul
also
named
tied
William.
to the venture for the most part. The FBI is pretty much controlled by, at least the local agents are.
Yeah, Beryl Underwood is like running them.
Yeah, he's the Primogen, venture Primogen is Beryl, who Beryl Underwood is. So, with that in mind, I imagine for Betty, as a wandering free spirit information broker who often is overlooked by the general public and scoffed at by the kindred themselves, knows the best place to find information, especially on venture, if that's what you're looking for, is out near the financial district in Boston, where a lot of the money exchanges hands, where a lot of people are moving around, and where a lot of panhandlers and homeless tend to spend some time during lunch hours and dinner hours in hopes of finding a good chunk of change to buy them a warm meal or a place to sleep for that night. But also quite a few people that you've intermingled with over time. Both people you know names of and others you've only seen the face of a couple of times, deal in quite a bit of information out there. For a role, if I was to ask you for a role on the first day out in the financial district, if that's where you would go, you have other places like you go to Boston Common, the Boston Common area. You could find a lot less, a lot less moneyed people and high end people out there, but more of the common man, the people looking to have a good time. You go out that direction, and then if you want, I would say those are your two big options right now before any information is
Follow the first, and then if that
Financial
doesn't net
district?
me anything, yeah.
Yeah. So you spend your first day probably just spending time mingling with everybody. What are your specialties, Betty? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Larceny,
Okay.
subterfuge, con artistry.
I'd say
Wow.
I'd say con artistry and like con artistry would probably be appropriate here if you wanted to use it. But I would need a wits streetwise roll
Wits.
from you. Do you have any contacts?
Um,
Like mechanical contacts?
Mechanical
Like as
contacts.
of on your character sheet, like you
Yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
experience.
I have Prestation Dead status. I have City Secrets. I have a
Okay.
mask, and
Yeah.
my shopping cart is my other
Yeah. Okay, cool.
thing.
So just yeah, give me that wit
And
streetwise and +1 for con artist specialty.
street wits, streetwise wits. This one. Oh, and I can browse,
You
right?
can rouse if you want. Yep, you can rouse now, and I'll give you 2d10.
Yeah, I think I want that. Ooh, okay.
Okay, hunger
Probably
3.
not
So
gonna do
you're
that
already
again.
itching already.
All right, so wits. So give me +3
Yep.
together. Ooh,
2 successes. You can re-roll 3 if you want to spend a willpower.
I will do that. I
It was
will.
also like a magnificently ass roll last week, wasn't there? With like a bunch of dice, and then somebody rolled like 1 success on all those dice. I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, there
Holy
was a pretty
shit.
bad roll.
That's much
Uh,
better.
Well, no. You got to re-roll 3 of them, not 1, 2, 3,
I
4, 5,
rerolled
6 of them.
2. Oh.
You re-rolled 6. I just need 3 raw 3d10 re-rolls.
Let's just take 3
I
of
looked
those
over. I'm like, God
tens.
damn. Okay, but still,
Oh, I
Okay.
hit
your
the
4
willpower.
successes is
I don't know
very,
why I
very
did
good.
it that way. There we go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
man, but like you for a minute, my brain was like, "That's fair. That's right. That's fair." Yeah, add 5 more successes to your roll.
I think I hit the wrong button on the thing. I think I hit
Now,
willpower instead of willpower reroll.
as we look at Betty, because you're about to spend a day panhandling in the financial district, you're not here very often. You're going to get a lot of kind of like sideways glances from people who kind of you're going to encroach on their territory for, but you're not there for money. You're there for information. And I'm sure you want to obviously make that clear. But as we look at Betty make her way in through the financial district and start to kind of panhandle, like start making her way around, is there anything does she set up shop? Does she wander from like individual panhandler to like homeless, like people like under in a camp under a bridge somewhere? Do you set up and hope people come to you? I'm curious how Betty kind of goes about. That's not her territory, looking to do some information broker.
Yeah, I think that she does set up, but she probably moves around. Like she takes her shopping cart, she sets up in a little area. She kind of makes it more like a game, right? And then when she gets like someone who she thinks that might be helpful for her, then she plays a little bit more of the game, right? Whereas the others is maybe, oh, I'm just trying to get some money.
Yeah.
And then because I know you're not useful for me in the sense of information, but when it comes to like, oh, you're somebody who can give me something more than that, then it becomes a little bit more of a chase, which
So
I think also excites her.
Yeah, the hunt is more exciting to her than the actual catch, because then when you have the catch, where's the thrill? And that's where the chaos comes
I
in.
know I'm going to get the money out of that loser.
Yeah, exactly. So, Betty, you spend probably the first 2 or 3 hours of this night, like you said, spending some time, seeing how many wanders, talking to a few people who are very standoffish. You're actually welcome to make me also a manipulation persuasion, I think is appropriate here.
What is it exactly that is it
Just
communication?
how it is you're like, how you come off again to people you're talking to. It's not going to stop you from gathering the information you got from the role you made. I'm more curious if you're going to make friends with enough people to learn some new people's names and maybe build some new contacts out here.
Gotcha. Okay. Persuasion.
You're still going to get the info. It's just whether you get anybody other than.
Let's see.
particular.
2.
With 2 successes, people are, like I said, for the most part, people avoid you. Even other panhandlers, for the most part, avoid you. But what I would say is through the first few hours, there is a particular name when you start asking about whatever it is you're asking about that does come up often. And he only has a nickname. They don't even know his actual name, but he's the only one in the area that rants and raves about conspiracies and new world orders and how actually all the undead are the ones running everything from behind the scenes. And you get the name. His nickname is simply Cardboard. And if you ever ask why he goes by that nickname, they, for the most part, they're just like, it doesn't fucking matter. If you want, I avoid him. He stands by the outskirts, somewhere near the edges of like the financial district. Um, I guess I would say be Betty. Is she someone who would find curiosity to go look for herself, or should try to learn more about this person first before approaching them?
Oh, go look for herself.
That's fair. So you get directed in the area where usually you can see this guy named Cardboard. And as you make your way out there, it doesn't surprise you now why this is his nickname. You don't even second guess if this is the person because in the middle of like right on an off ramp that leads into this area from the highway, you see him standing at the corner and he's decked out in pieces of cardboard that make him look like, like someone's first mech cosplay in a way, but even like a cardboard box over his head. But even from this far, you can see on markers written on his cardboard, donate or I will destroy. And then as he turns around, you'll see on his back, the world also scratched on it. And there's like he's like not a shopping cart like you, but you see a couple of black trash bags that are just kind of laid into a bush nearby. And he's not holding a sign. He's shouting and screaming at the cars, demanding they pay him tribute, or he will, depending on like the moment, slash their tires or stuff a bunch of tissues in their exhaust pipe or piss in their gas tank. Like just absolute like these abrasive screams. He's mostly getting honked at. A few people are like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself, you asshole." And just like that kind of chaos. You see him marching around, shouting at the cars as they're coming off the highway.
I love that.
I'm curious what Betty does.
I think Betty watches for a little bit out of like amusement.
Sure.
And, like,
how
does he
long would Betty
notice
watch?
her there at all?
He doesn't seem to. I imagine you're not like super close. You see him from like a distance away, and there are pedestrians, other homeless people walking around, other just general people walking around. It's not packed, but there are the occasional pedestrians as well. So you're not the only one around. So you don't stick out immediately. Like what we're looking at in this area is like I said, it's an off ramp for the highway leading into this like little almost abandoned shopping center. Did anywhere else in the country other than New England have a store called Apex? Awesome. It's like this huge, like concrete pyramid looking department store. And it went out of business a long time ago. And there's like one that just like, you see the where the red letters Apex were, the shadows of where they were as they've been removed off the building. That's like on the left as you come off the off ramp to this highway and start driving into the further into the city. That's kind of just shouting and ranting at these people. Hopefully one person in chat who knows what an Apex is. I swear to God, I'm not crazy. Apex store. I'm not New England, right? I'm not crazy, right? That existed. Apex companies. Yeah, that's yep. Oh, and there's a picture of the white pyramid building I was talking about. Hell yes. I'll put it in our Discord.
Yeah, I think Betty will just watch for a little bit. And if he doesn't notice her, or then she'll speak up. But she's not going to watch for too long. She's not like she's creeping on him too long, but
yeah.
Just wants to kind of observe him. Is he just decked out in this cardboard? He doesn't have it doesn't look like he stays here. He looks like he's like stationed here right now.
Yeah,
just
he's
to,
like stationed
get money.
here. He's yelling and shouting. I gave just in the Discord. That's the building I'm talking about, but minus the letters at the very top.
Oh, our group.
Yeah, sorry.
Nice.
I should put it in the actual like Pod by Night Discord. Let me go do that too.
Apex companies.
Yeah, in the picture.
It's a very interesting building looking.
Yes, exactly. It's ugly as hell. My grandmother used to take me there take us there as kids when she was babysitting. It sucked.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, how long do you stand around and watch him? I know you said you don't stand around for super long.
Not too long, like a couple minutes just watching him.
Okay. At one point you see him, somebody shouts at him and like, hey, like the guy who shouted like, hey, go fuck yourself. As the car, he was just like in an old Jeep. As he's like says that and he's driving off, the cardboard guy, like in a fit of rage, slaps the back of his car with like his cardboard hand. And you see the Jeep immediately pull over, throw on its hazards, and the driver door swings open. And this portly dude in his 50s comes out and he's like, what the fuck you just do to my car? And you see a fight. He's like looking to start a fight. And you see Cardboard immediately. Actually, you give me a wits insight to see if you can figure out what his reaction's about to be because he is wearing a bunch of cardboard.
Okay. Not my best.
No, you don't know how he's about to react to this, but I'm sure
I don't
you're
think I
interested
care
in
that much. So
Okay. Yeah. As you start to see this fight about to get going, you're like, I'm out of here.
no, I don't think she's out of here, but I think she will shout something at him.
Okay. As you like, what are you gonna shout? What is Betty gonna shout?
I think she just like, easy there, Your Majesty. Ain't nobody paying any tolls here. I think there might be a little misunderstanding.
Cardboard sees. Obviously, he hears you, and the other guy like looks past him to see you for a minute and kind of gives you a look of like, who you getting involved. But as he looks back to Cardboard, you see Cardboard taking his opportunity, sprinting in your direction. And he's like, and you just hear Cardboard clopping, like, as he's like, he loses one of the pieces of cardboard on his arm. He like quickly pushes it off because he keeps brushing up against the side. And as he gets closer, you can see it's made of different, like, it's not all from the same piece of cardboard. One of his leg pieces is like an Amazon delivery box that's been like retrofitted to fit his shin. Yeah, as he's getting closer and you see the writing on him.
I think as he's getting closer, I'm going to enact Daunt as well to kind of freak him out a little bit.
You want to scare him. What do you say?
He's running at me.
Yeah, he's like running toward you, not like in an aggressive way, but away from this guy toward the person who was getting involved.
I thought he was running aggressively towards me.
No, okay. Cardboard is taking the opportunity to run toward you, but like away from the guy who wants to beat him up.
Gotcha. Then I will not do that. I will. Okay. I'll just kind of. I'll be manically laughing, actually.
Yeah, and you maniacally laughing, actually. And as he's running towards him, and you look past him, the guy who's like looking to start a fight was like sort of making his way over, like, where the fuck are you going? But as Betty starts like cackling like a crazy person, he stops, kind of visibly weighs his options for a beat and realizes it ain't fucking worth it. And just goes back to his Jeep, gets into the car and peels off, holding and just like his hand to the horn as he kind of turns left and goes by the two of you, honking at both of you loudly as his last bit of vengeance.
Betty waves and smiles like a big grin. She's like pushing her shopping cart very slowly. She's like, that's what I thought.
Cardboard getting to you, like throws off the top, like the piece of cardboard over his head as it's kind of like cocked to the side and blocking his vision from how fast he was running. And as he slides it off and it falls on like by your feet, because he's like right next to you at this point. You see him panting out of breath. This guy is like he's up there, maybe in his early 60s somewhere, very wiry black hair that is mostly gone, just mostly bald at the very top. But he has a patchwork kind of scraggly beard. And when he opens his mouth, you can see he's missing 2/3 of his teeth. He takes in a deep breath and he makes the sign of the cross very quickly. And he's like, I don't know where the fuck you came from, but thank you for stopping that man. He was about to kill an innocent man like me, all because he was being rude to me. You wouldn't have a spare sandwich on you or anything, would you, Miss? And he like lets that linger, like, for your name, Miss.
She says,
"Oh, what's your favorite name? Call me whatever that is."
And he takes a moment. And while he looks at you in the eyes for a brief, maybe second or two, his eyes do immediately go to your shopping cart. And they never leave your shopping cart. And when he asks, like, if you have a sandwich, he's already looking at your shopping cart. And he's like, because it's packed, but it's like chaos. Even to other people have seen people pushing around in here. He's like, what do you mean you got a choice? Oh my God, like a peanut butter and jelly?
No, I meant the name. You have a choice of the name. As far as sustenance on that front.
How about I just call you my guardian angel, huh? Yeah, you're my guardian angel.
Oh, that'll be a first.
She shoves her hand in like the cart and pulls out like a bottle of vodka that's like not all vodka. It's like a mixed. It looks like some kind of brown. It's some kind of brown something. Inside. It's like a bunch of alcohol from various different things all shoved in there. It's a concoction of some sort.
Oh He's like, I don't know if you have a place to stay, but I got one. If you want to follow me back, we can share. And he gestures to the bottle of vodka plus. We can share it. And I don't know who the fuck you are, but I just want to be grateful, and I can give you like a
I
warm
don't mind
fry
a
or
little shelter and a nice company, a drink with nice company.
And she just grins and
She's like, which direction are we going?
And he, with a half smirk, gestures to you with one arm to follow him. And you do follow him out of the financial district, more into the outskirts of Boston, where
does he seem like he's human? Is the vibe I'm
yes,
getting?
you
Okay.
see him. The fact that he was huffing for breath and like out of breath and stuff to you indicates he's human, or mortal at the very least. Doesn't necessarily mean he could be like something else, but he leads you. He walks for about 30 minutes, and the entire time he doesn't really shut up. Initially, it's just like, thank you so much. You wouldn't believe how often I get yelled at over there. All I want is them to like, I know they look at what I'm writing
I
on
have
my
no idea why they'd ever want to yell at you.
I know what I wrote on my cardboard thing, and like, hey, donate to me or I'm going to kill the world. But it's true. Like, I could if I really wanted to. I spent over 24 hours by myself meditating, which I am a master meditator. I got learned by one of the meditators of yoga out in Eastern India. When I was 23 to 27 years old. And if I spend 24 hours meditating, I could bring the apocalypse by a never-ending eclipse where all the dead will rise and serve me as master, and I will this armor that I wear will become true armor, like I am a knight being risen from the ethereal grounds of where the cavalry of the Almighty Father, Son, Holy Mother, Ghost, and Spirit come from, and I will show the world the truth that they have been living in the filth of their own decisions and ego, and just like, I thank you for saving me because they don't know what they could have died tonight.
Betty loves this.
Oh, wouldn't that be a thing? You, a leader of all of them, eh?
They only found me at the end of my glory. See, I was once a glorious general who led the holy warriors who dominated the lands of the chosen few before the continent of Lemuria sunk it into the earth, and Atlantis kind of became this myth. But it was a real place. Ask Plato. Plato, one of the greatest philosophers in the world, believed Atlantis was real, and I know it was real because I served Atlantis as one of its greatest generals.
Well, that's something I don't hear every day. Having a drink with a general. Tell me, I hear you've been saying whispers of someone named William. Perhaps maybe you might know something more of them.
And as you say that as you're
As
pulling
such a
into,
great general.
You see, it's not a shelter or anything. Just in the back alley, next to a blue dumpster that has been overfilled and ignored for far too long, you see like an old blue sky, faded blue sky with dinosaurs on it, sheet that is hooked to the corner of the dumpster, pulled diagonally, and then held up by an old metal, what do you call it, like post or pole that is got the base of concrete that has been ripped out from somewhere. It's sitting there holding one of the pieces of the corner, and another one is looking like nailed into the brick building on the right to create this sort of triangular sheet roof. And underneath it, you see not a sleeping bag, but you see a bed of disregarded squishmallows that are sort of arranged in a bed-like shape. And next to it, you see is where he kind of unloads his cardboard. He kind of piles it all next to it, and off away from the sheet, there's like a drum where it's not on fire right now, but you see in there the burnt remnants of like garbage and some splintered woods and nails that are left over from wood that's been burned in there. And he gestures. He's like, it may not seem like a lot right now, but I am one who knows how to camp in the rough after spending many years on the battlefield with my men. Sit. And as he pulls his cardboard armor off, you see he's wearing underneath is just acid washed jean shorts that are way too short. No shirt.
Yeah, I think she just smiles and as he's like inviting her in,
And
the squishmallows. The squishmallows look very comfortable. She's gonna go sit on that. And she just like,
Neat. I once saw Elvis at a gas station in Jersey. Want a drink?
And she pops it open, and like you just smell like alcohol, but it's not. It's like
Not anything specific type. It's
not a
just
specific alcohol. Exactly. It just smells like. Yeah.
Does Betty pull out like shot glasses or glasses, or do you
No,
have?
she just puts it on her mouth
Okay,
and
handing it
offers
back
it
and
to
forth
him.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he will take it and swig it. I'm assuming it is alcohol, but it's like a mix of like hard alcohol, whatever like leftovers you've had before, and you just pour it into the same
It's
bottle.
like someone went to a bunch of different garbage cans and just took whatever was left in bottles and poured it into another bottle together.
And as you hand it over to him, he grabs it by the handle and he just throws it to his lips and he knocks it back. Unlike you, Betty, where this shit doesn't affect you. Obviously, you're kindred and that alone helps, but also, you know, you've been living this kind of life and drinking this kind of shit for longer than this guy probably has at this point. And as it hits his lips, while he doesn't immediately gag or throw it up, which is impressive, he does visually retch when it does touch his tongue. But under his own stubbornness, perhaps defiance of looking like not a general or whatever reason, he chokes it down. And when he does,
Oh,
he
it
just
burns,
goes,
doesn't it? The burn is good, though. It's good for you. It's healthy. It'll clean up any phlegm that you might have had in there.
and he spends a good 10 seconds just making that kind of sound off to the side, just like coughing. That isn't quite gagging, but someone from a good few feet away might think it's gagging. And Betty the whole time is like, yes, that, like you said, you're like, yes, that's the stuff. That's the good stuff. You know, you maybe pass the bottle back and forth a couple times before you ask about this.
Yeah, I
William
ask
that you
again.
bring
So
up.
I say,
General, you ever met a fellow named William?
William the Great was always my arch nemesis in the past, but immortality wasn't handed to him, it was handed to me. He clearly is talking about a historical William that is not the William that you're talking about. Did you have a description of the William? Did you had the face, was that face shot of the William or was the face shot of the FBI agent that you got and you were looking into? I'm trying to remember if you had like a physical
let me
description of this
double
guy.
check what I had.
Yeah.
I think that I got the description of the Helen, who is.
Okay, cool.
I
So
don't
then
know
he
if I
would
got
simply
it.
say, well, so what would you say when he's just clearly describing some
No,
historical
but I saw him
William?
because I saw her speak to him, so I would know
Okay.
what he looks like.
So you then,
But you
unless
didn't
you want to
describe-
hold anything back in particular, I imagine you just describe the William. Like, no, not him.
Yeah, if I can just
This
make
guy.
something up, I'm cool with that. If you're good with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna
Um,
make a roll for him.
yeah, I think she just says,
Oh, polite, clean cut, smells like a hotel lobby and broken promises. That William, not probably the one that you're thinking of offhand. I know there are a lot of
does it-
Williams in the world.
And he probably rambles still for a little while about William the Great, seemingly ignoring everything you've just said to him out loud until eventually you kind of like keep reiterating what you're looking for. And he stops. He's like, yeah, I didn't know that was his name. Sounds like that boring guy that is an interesting guy.
Boring yet interesting. That's
It's boring because, like, you know, as you describe him, right? He's wearing a suit. He's just kind of clean cut. Works in the financial district. Shit's pretty typical. But you don't often see those kinds of people traipsing around at like 10 p.m. You know what I mean? Right around
as he
6 p.m.
traipsing
They all
around.
leave and go to their nice little homes and bang their wives or husbands without realizing that a war for the entire existence of planet Earth is hinging on my shoulders.
well, let's hope that you get a little more support then.
Would you like to join me as an ally?
Oh, yes, yes. Of course, I want to be on the right side of this war.
Have you ever you didn't give him your name, right?
"No, I told him to call me
Yeah, he
whatever he
never
wanted."
picked out one. He's like, and he
Yeah.
almost seemingly forgets, what should I call you? Guardian angel, like a Valkyrie. I can call you Val.
I like that name, Val.
Val, my finest warrior, the first of my female generals. History is more conservative than the present times. It is time I truly have a female in my ranks.
When you say female like that, a
Killing
female.
Yeah, that sounds like yeah, but anyway, it's like talking about the war, but do you question further about William, this boring guy that shows up at 10 p.m.?
What makes him so interesting, this William, boring William, that is?
Yeah, he has some strange, unusual, and shall we say, civilian-like habits that most have. Like I said, most leave around 6 p.m. to go home to their family abodes, but he arrives at like 10 p.m., other times 11, and sometimes I don't see him go home. Sometimes I see him arrive as the sun is about to go down, and then he leaves at like 11 p.m.
Where is he going to?
I don't know. I don't follow him. He's boring.
Oh, I see. Where do you see him initially?
He takes a moment and he starts, almost you could see him like struggling to stay on topic as he's desperately wanting to kind of pivot back to the fate of the world and how we can save it. He says, I saw, he names, I'm trying to think of the name of the building in Boston. Is it the Prudential Center? Like, I think of the Prudential Center. What like is the name of it? Let me check. That might be Providence, Rhode Island, actually. Center.
Boston Prudential Center.
Yeah.
It's like a shopping
like
mall?
like a business, like a skyscraper. Yeah, that's it right there. Yep.
Okay.
The Prudential Tower. It's in Boston. It's your typical kind of it's a financial district. It's like, where business is often done. He mentions that, and then he kind of like goes offhand. He's like, I did hear Tina say he saw them get picked up somewhere in the Commons once real late at night, but why? Is he recruitable? Is he valuable? Do you think he could fund our war? I often try to ask for money to let people know, but I am often scoffed at. The ignorance.
Well, it might also be the strategy you're using, Sometimes you can catch more flies with honey, as they say.
Not
that I'm any good at that
I never
either.
Thought we could use your feminine wiles to recruit more men into the army. Of course.
I think that actually makes Betty feel a little good.
It's always escaped me.
She kind of like, straightens up a little bit
Betty,
and takes
the camera pans to Betty, who's like shuffling in her like dirty clothes.
Yeah, and she like takes a swig.
Then that should be your first mission. Recruit us a patron, a noble, like in the olden times, except they're just called CEOs now. If you could fund our war through this William you speak of, build an army, we could save human existence from annihilation, and they would be none the wiser.
And what exactly would we need money for, that is?
We live in a society.
Is that it?
Unfortunately, we cannot buy weapons. We cannot buy equipment without the almighty US dollar.
Where are you going to get this equipment?
You see him hesitate for a second? Wits insight? Give me a wits insight, Betty.
Not my best. Oh, I went the wrong.
All right.
I always forget you have to.
There's nothing more I love more than like I love playing a character that's really good at lying and shit at telling if they're being lied to.
Yeah. 4.
Whoa, shit! You critical. You messy critical though. Yeah. With what's Betty's compulsion?
How
This is something we never really dip into.
do I calculate that exactly?
Well, compulsion is like a roll. Let me check real quick. I can check what the Ravnos compulsions are. Let's see. Tempting fate is compulsion. So let's see. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Tempting fate. Okay. The ravenous vampires driven by their blood to court danger, haunted as they are by righteous fire, burning its way up the lineage of the law. The next time a vampire is faced with a problem to solve, any attempt at a solution short of the most daring or dangerous incurs a 2 dice penalty for you. So that is that's while nothing immediate happens with a messy critical, tempting if you start getting the itch of like the that daredevil-esque free attitude. So
Well,
here's
I have risk taker as an advantage.
so yeah, you probably get an advantage roll on it. You know, like
Yeah.
you'll still get a full dice pool in whatever you do. Just I'll put this in the chat for Roll20. If you want to copy paste, that's what the Ravnos's compulsion is.
Okay, I'll take it. Oh,
And that's currently active.
Okay.
But obviously not in this very moment. There's really nothing you can do with that. However, with the critical, with that with insight, you actually do when you ask him. Well, shit. What did you ask him? I lost track.
I asked him what he like, where he was going to get this money from.
Equipment, the equipment. Yeah,
the
yeah,
equipment.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you see a moment of genuine confusion. Not at like, why would you ask that? But like, he's never thought that far ahead, clearly. And there's a genuine thought of like, the black market, organized crime, mafia. Yes, of course. They're always looking to off-sell their weapons with filed off serial numbers. And we will use their contacts and use the enemy's own supply
Do you
of
have any
weaponry against
contacts
them.
with the mafia?
No, but I'm sure they would love to make an alliance with one of the world's most important historical generals of their time.
Well, I might know someone who knows someone.
I knew you walked into my life as a reason, the Valkyrie of my dreams, feminine wiles, military mind, strategic plans. We're going to go far, you and I, Val.
What exactly is the plan once we do recruit this army?
Annihilate all those in charge, take all the CEOs and line them up, hold a press conference and shoot them in the head, one after the other, and send a message that no longer will humanity serve those in power, whether willfully or unwillfully. And then those who wish to bring the dead back from the dead to rule the world will be dead, never to rise from the dead again. And when the world is pure, Atlantis will rise.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
With a woman by my side, I should have seen it this entire time.
She just grins and goes,
Well, wouldn't we be just as bad as them if we lined them all up and took them out?
Trolley problem. I've thought about it for a long time. Sacrifice a few to save the many. Where they are the opposite, they wish to sacrifice everyone else to save themselves.
Or is genocide just a few to you?
I don't want to... he takes a moment. I never thought about genociding CEOs before. Is it morally acceptable to genocide an entire class? But what are our laws?
Well, you spoke of these others, the ones that raise from the dead as well.
Oh, yes, they're the CEOs.
I see.
The
I
CEOs
see.
wish to raise others from the dead and use them as their unholy army to bring about the end times. And I will stop them by executing them publicly on camera on CBS, NBC, and ABC.
Chat, for legal reasons, this is just a character.
"Don't come for us, you two."
BBS, and AABBCC.
Well, then go back to the other thought process again about the genocide. I want to hear your theory of that.
Well, they're going to genocide us. There's
Are
that's
they?
my concern by killing all of us and
But
ruling
then
over the dead.
Then why would there be so many of you alive?
There aren't.
I mean, us
Atlantis has been
alive.
sunken. They thought the war won, but they didn't kill Atlantis's best general. You see, I was in Lemuria when the attack happened. When Lemuria attacked, I was deep undercover, preparing to plan out the weaknesses of their continent, attack them from all angles with our supercomputers and spiritual warfare.
Does he seem like there's any truth to what he's saying, or is he just
Does Betty
crazy?
have any knowledge in occult? Out of curiosity, any points in occult?
No, I don't.
No, none of this sounds at all like anything Betty would understand remotely. No,
Okay.
This sounds like fucking insane nonsense. Not to say if you had points in occult, you're like, oh, he's honest. That's not why I ask.
No.
But I am pulling from useless knowledge I have attained over 7 years of doing a different podcast of learning useless knowledge. So there are aspects of that I am pulling from that somebody with occult knowledge may be like, oh yeah, I've heard of.
Okay, so like Betty thinks he's okay. She's
He is
intrigued.
until he is proven correct. He's quite literally insane. Yes,
Yeah.
Betty thinks this man is nuts.
Yeah, but Betty's kind of into it. She will listen to him and like play up this Valkyrie thing with him.
Sure.
But she lets him know, like, basically,
Well, if you hear anything about our target, do let me know.
Usually he's I told you, he kind of shows up at that Prudential Tower at night somewhere late at night. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna make a roll real quick.
I will follow up on this lead and try to see if I can find more information on him.
I don't think I've ever seen him there on a Tuesday before. That's it. Should we feast in celebration?
Oh, do you have something to feast on?
I do. And he
looks at
turns
him
around
like
and
as
he
if
reaches,
he is a snack. That's what she's looking at.
as he
she
turns
says
around,
that. Yeah.
He turns around and reaches into one of his bags and he pulls out a half-eaten bag of Funyuns. And did you want to feed on him, by the way, Betty?
I mean, kind of. He's a little crazy. He seems like he might be on some drugs, which Betty wants
you don't
whatever
know,
he's
you wouldn't
on.
know until you either ask or taste for yourself and find out. You know he's going to taste like whatever alcohol you just fed him, but he's not like trash.
But he'll remember though. That's the thing too.
So like if you approach him and be like, "Hey, I'm going to do something to you now," but when you bite somebody from behind or whatever, they go into an immediate state of ecstasy and really won't remember the like few minutes, like usually like leading up to it.
Okay, then yes, I'm down.
So if you want to sneak up behind him, yes, you can. Give me a dex stealth check. Well, what's your feeding type again? I forget. Sandman?
Yeah, Sandman. So I would wait till he sleeps.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to feed on sleeping people. It's just what you have bonuses for and stuff.
I would, because I think like he is going to like sleep at some point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So he pulls out a bag of Funyuns. Unless you rouse the blood, you can't eat these.
No, Betty will be like,
oh, I don't more for you. This is what I want more of.
And she takes like multiple glugs of it and like no reaction whatsoever with it.
Yeah.
But she does take out a piece of chalk like and breaks like a section of it off and hands it to him. And she shows him like this little triangle. It's like a red piece of chalk.
You know magic as well. And he actually reaches over and grabs a piece of paper that is like in his bag. It's like a piece of loose leaf that's been scribbled on a little bit. And he's like, "You show me your sigils and then I'll show you my nightly ritual."
Oh, I would like to see your nightly ritual.
I have to bless my armor every night to keep me safe. Please, you first. You draw a triangle.
Yeah, she draws a triangle and she says,
"Now, if you see anything else, you make this triangle for me somewhere, and I will know that I can go there and get more information."
A summoning sigil. You'll have to teach me. I only know the protection one. And he shows watch, and he takes the chalk that you. Did you give him a piece of the chalk or no?
Yeah, I gave him like a tiny chunk of it.
And on the piece of paper, what color chalk is it? Like white chalk?
It's red. It's red.
Okay, so it's on the piece of loose leaf he's in, and you see him draw what just looks to be like an abstract bunch of squiggles. It doesn't look like anything you've seen done by any other kindred you know. Like, it just looks like randomness. After he finishes it, he takes the corner of a piece of paper and he tucks it into one of the cracks of his armor. So it's like the piece of loose leaf is like dangling from his chest piece. And he's like, "And now, when the sigil is drawn, one must enter a state of gnosis to empower it with protective magics. Watch." And then as he does, he steps up and he unzips his pants. And facing away from you, unless Betty starts watching, he starts pleasuring himself very aggressively toward the sigil. Not toward you, away from Betty. He's doing at the armor, and you just hear him mumbling what would be just phrases that are probably Latin to somebody who wouldn't know Latin, but are literally nonsense.
Betty watches and continues to drink.
Yeah.
She's like mega. This person is like the most entertaining thing she's seen probably in months. This is like watching K-drama right now.
After a very agonizing and
Bob's losing back there.
overly long 2 minutes, he eventually just hear as he keels over a little bit. You hear the paper gets a little messy, and he's like, now, before I go to sleep and forget about it, I must take the paper. And he rips it off the armor and he puts it in the barrel. And you see him just take a match that he has, lights it, and he tosses it in the barrel with a couple other pieces of paper to get the kindling going. And you burn the rest of the sigil, and then you go to sleep and forget about what you did.
I'm sorry. I have to personally react to that. Okay.
He walks over to his squishmallows and lays down.
Betty's like, very intriguing. And she waits. She just kind of watches and waits for him to sleep, and then she will feed on him.
He's within a minute. He's snoring like in a deep. He lays on the squishmallows, and he's like, you can help yourself to whatever's left of the Funyuns. And he turns over and he goes to lay down. And after like, you hear him like getting comfy, like rubs his legs together a few times. Eventually, you hear him start snoring immediately.
Okay, then she will feed.
And you do. I'm assuming you just feed down to 1. Like you get down, you take 2 points off of him. You taste the alcohol. Perhaps to your great surprise, not a single drug in his blood that you can taste.
Betty's a little disappointed. Betty was here like because she's like, whatever he's on, I need some of that. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's not on anything other than his own grand illusions, perhaps. You feed. Where would you see you go?
She feeds. She will shape the Funyuns into like she breaks them into like pieces and makes like a message with them.
Okay.
To leave for him, and she'll erase the triangle that she had originally there.
Okay. Yep.
She like wipes it off.
Yep.
Is there anything else of use here? Like looking at his.
I mean, if you do a quick wits awareness, like you're gonna poke around his shit real quick. He doesn't have a lot of belongings. So
yeah, just anything that might be interesting.
Wits investigation I would take as well if you want to spend a little bit more time, but wits awareness is fine.
Yeah, wits awareness. She's not gonna spend too much time. She just wants to.
You
She just
look
looks
over-
really quick to see if there's anything else of use or importance.
Yeah, you quickly look over with the wits awareness. 3 successes is quite good. But you see nothing of his you see value in. No.
All right.
You were nothing valuable on him.
What time is it?
You maybe have like $3 and change on him if you wanted to.
I wouldn't take his money. He can keep the. He probably worked hard for that $3 and change. I'm not gonna take it.
Yeah, he worked hard for sure.
For what time is it currently?
We'll say it's probably like midnight, 1 a.m. ish.
Okay. They said that Tina said he got picked up at the Commons once.
Yeah, give me a intelligence streetwise to see if that name rings a bell.
Okay.
Because out of all the people, you would be the one that might know that name.
Ooh, 1.
You could spend a willpower and reroll 2 of those if you'd like.
I will do that.
'Cause 1 will not be enough.
Is it 2 yet? 2 or?
Yeah, just 2d10 because one of those is a hunger dice and you can't reroll that.
Oh god, I keep clicking the wrong button.
Good. Okay,
Ooh,
3 successes. Tina out in the Commons. Yeah, someone goes by Night Eyes. Night Eyes Tina. She's out that way. She's a younger woman. She's out usually near the camps near Boston Common. Often pretty spooked by new people, but you've crossed her path a couple times. She might be that. She's not one to talk very freely. But she's it's doable to get her to talk if you wanted to go out that way.
Yeah, I think she'll make her way that direction and see if she sees, and she's keeping an eye out for this William fellow.
Yeah. So then, as you make your way out toward that way, why don't we, as you walk away, fade to black for break? When we return,
it's already break.
I know. When we return, we're gonna snap over to Elspeth.
Poor Tracy. She's just been sitting here watching this madness.
This is entertaining as hell. Are you kidding me? These Mathis NPCs are always like the most bonkers.
Bonkers are very sweet.
Yes, exactly.
One or the other. But yeah, I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
All right, guys,
yeah,
we'll be
yeah,
back in
a few minutes.
just a minute. Go run bio break, grab some water, do what you got to do. We'll see you in just a moment. BRB.
Hello, hello.
Happy
Welcome back, everybody.
birthday.
Happy birthday to
It's got to be somebody's birthday.
somebody.
Surely.
Josh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Josh.
His birthday's coming up, actually.
Who? No, not that.
said-
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that, Josh. I was literally just thinking. I was trying to pull a generic name that someone in chat might have, but good idea.
Oh,
That's
I
probably
was
why
like,
I pulled
it
that name,
actually
'cause I
is
know
Josh's
Josh.
birthday
Yeah.
coming up.
Christopher or Michael. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm Michael. See, you know what I mean? Like,
David?
Yeah.
also, exactly. It's problematic. Okay, we're gonna jump back into it. If you
Actually, I
guys
feel like I know a lot of
in.
Adams and yeah.
I know two Davids actually. Yeah. All right, we're gonna jump back into it. Kind of just immediately leap back in, but we're going to go back to the beginning of the night where Betty is in right now. Back to Elspeth. Now, remind me exactly, Elspeth. You left off after coming back from New York, and you went back to your after the meeting with the prince, and then you went
Yes.
back to
Salem.
to
Yes.
to tell Annika and all this other stuff.
Yeah, since you know, this is my new life now. I have to pack my bags.
Yeah.
So we're going forward.
It's like the night you're on right now, Betty. That same night. It's still like 4 days prior.
Okay.
Like 4
All
days
right.
prior.
Gives me a timeline. Interesting. Okay.
Maybe a day, it's a day ahead of you, where Betty is technically. Either way, it's somewhere around there. So you would go back on that night, and she wouldn't have been there. The store would have been closing up. I mean, you kind of had the meeting with the prince, and then you were dealing with Janet and what you guys were gonna do. So you had most of the night spent there, before leaving for Salem, either the next night or late that night. But on this evening, do you remind me? Do you stay in the store when you go back there? You have a place in the store, or is it a little apartment? I can't really fully remember.
I think, oh man, I would say I probably stay
in the store.
in
right?
the store. Yeah.
I think that's what we established.
There is
like a little room in the store.
There is some housing in the upstairs part of the
That's what it
store.
was. I think it was upstairs. You have like a room up there.
Yeah.
So you would make your way.
That's how we
the store.
described it. It was in like a lot of detail.
Yeah, I was like, I know we talked about it. I can't remember exactly. Let me open up my character Bible because I got to get their names. Yeah, Kaya,
the gals. Yeah.
Kaya and Ivy.
Yes.
The person working the front desk tonight would be Ivy. She'd give you a very pleasant smile as you walk in, as you walk down from your room. And when we see Elspeth making her way down, obviously she probably spent. Well, you don't really spend the day tossing and turning. You would have gone to torpor and then immediately woken up. The night prior, having been the night you met with the prince, still fresh on your mind, knowing you have to have this conversation with the sire whenever she arrives. When we see you walking down the stairs and into the storefront, is there a look of concern on Elspeth's face? Does she look stoic? Is she like her normal self? How is Elspeth feeling after getting a talking down to by the prince, essentially?
She certainly looks troubled. Her face will probably show that. Yes.
So when Ivy kind of gives a pleasant wave and says hello, does it like a half-hearted like?
Yeah. Hi. Good evening.
Noticeable difference, I guess, is what I'm after. Then Ivy would immediately be like, bring her hand down and step over and be like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? Did Annika say something?
No. I just
she would call her the mistress. Did the mistress say something? She wouldn't call her Annika.
No. I just had a rough night last night with my new crew. So
there's a look of like understanding. She nods and she's like, they do seem difficult to deal with, but I don't, I'm still on the outside looking in, so to speak. And she gives like a polite giggle.
Yeah, difficult is one word to describe it.
There's a look of almost relief that her judgment was not incorrect about them. It's like, I can't, and it's not my place to even ask why, but man, I can't imagine why you would have to even deal with them for that long. Janet seems scary too.
Yeah, you know, they're all kind of scary in their own way, a bit formidable to say the least.
David
But
seems like a sweetheart though, and she obviously her face just kind of softens when she mentions David.
yes, he is. He is very sweet. Um, but there are scarier people than Janet and everybody. And I guess I'm learning that.
She gives like an empathetic nod if she doesn't fully, sympathize with that, what that's like. She's like, yeah, Annika. I mean, yeah, that's what the mistress, kind of reinforces a lot. And there's always like, that metaphor, always a bigger fish, very cliche, but it seems to be apt.
Very much so.
She's not in yet, but I know she's expected tonight. If you wanted to, I don't know if you were looking. She's like, I could always I could use some help stocking shelves, but I imagine you have
Um,
busier, more important things to worry about in the storeroom.
yeah, I'm gonna have to, Ivy, I'm gonna have to be away for a while, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to grab some supplies and get some things for maybe a couple of months.
For a couple of months, I don't think I've ever seen you gone for more than maybe a week.
I don't think I've been away from here for more than a week.
Must be important.
Let's just say I got some new jobs and things to take care of. Think of it like college, like I'm going away for a semester and I'll be back.
She smiles and gives you a pleasant nod, like, yeah, she understands what you're saying, but like she's still too new. She's still too new to all this stuff. After that, maybe whatever pleasant conversation that wraps up, does Elspeth help her with stocking the shelves? Should you go in the back?
Elspeth is gonna go. She's gonna slightly help because Elspeth is just grabbing some things for herself.
Sure.
So she's going in the stock area and grabbing supplies.
I'll say, is there anything in particular you are grabbing that you want to notate down right now that you would want? You do have a couple rituals, right? Like, a couple basic rituals?
Yes, I do.
Do you have everything you need for those?
I am going to look. I would probably grab the items that I need for my rituals.
Yeah, pretty minimal needs for those, but still make sure you have them.
Yes, and enough of that where it's not where I won't be lacking. So yeah, she's just grabbing some various supplies and maybe even some things that she can use.
Let me just grab a rule book real quick.
Yes.
But yeah, keep on saying what you're saying.
Yeah, she'll probably grab some things that she's been using to practice other rituals and ceremonies, as she doesn't want to remain stagnant. So she's going to grab a couple of extra things, I feel.
Okay. I just want to look up something for the Hekata real quick.
Yeah, and I should have looked up.
These are all bloodlines I have to now learn like the back of my hand.
There's quite a few of them. If we're talking Hekata bloodlines.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, there are many. Where are disciplines? To keep the scene rolling a little bit, when you, other than gathering your things, when you go to the back room, I'm just curious, does Elspeth just like start pacing, like waiting? Does she like put her nose in a book? Does anxiety eat at her very much? It still may be kind of a fresh experience for Elspeth a bit, but to remind people, you're all young vampires. When you feel emotions, yes, you feel anxiety, yes, you feel worry and happiness, but they're always like an echo of what once was. Feeling that strong emotion is always dangerous because feeling any strong emotion can lead to a frenzy, essentially. But like, yes, you feel anxiety, but remember, it's an echo of what anxiety used to be like when you were living. If Elspeth was even an anxious person to begin with, she may not have been. But like, I'm just curious, when you walk in the back, what kind of scene do we see play out while she waits?
Definitely. No, Elspeth definitely carries anxiety with her into her own life. It's just different things to be anxious about. Like, isn't that great, guys? Like, you think you would escape anxiety and death? No, no.
Nope.
That will live with you if you're an anxious person. It will live with you even if you get embraced. So
I love that.
I think yes. She definitely has some nervous tics that she does upon packing her bags. You see that she like drops a candle and and it breaks on the ground, and it's just like
hear the glass shatter. Like our camera, when you drop it, we cut to the outside before it hits the ground, and we just hear the muffled shattering of glass. We see Ivy look over her shoulder, very nervous and concerned. Before we cut back to Elspeth, probably like, oh, fuck.
I'll clean it up. She quickly cleans it up and grabs a few other things.
I can't stall anymore.
This is how Elspeth also feels when she's trying to think of how she's going to talk to Annika when she returns.
I found it. Hang on.
Why do I feel like it's Cults of the Blood Gods? Is the best book, everybody. If you want to play a Hekata character, make sure you pick up Cults of the Blood Gods, because it's got, yes, it is. I can recognize that cover. It's a Cult of Blood. That's exactly. I was just saying. I was like, that is the best book. Like, if you want to play a Hekata, you need that book straight up.
I was looking at Blood Sigils first, and it didn't have what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I was like, where? And I couldn't find it because it's in the closet for some reason. That's how often I've used this book ever since I've gotten it.
Well, you better keep it out, because
now I need it.
It's something we're gonna need.
Now I need it. Thank God I found it. Sorry. Bear with me, chat. That's why we it's a long stream.
I am curious what you're looking at.
Is there no? Oh, okay. It's at the front of the book for this one. Let's see.
We gotta get you on hooked on Demiplane, Mathis.
Yeah, but I all the books on Demiplane.
I have at least Cults of the Blood Gods, but like,
okay,
it's very nice because I could just search up, like, if I search up a word, it will just pull up what I'm looking for. My
apologies for making this slow. I am an old man and I just want my book.
She's like, hint, hint. Use Demiplane.
I should. I am not.
They do not send me anything. I am just a huge fan of Demiplane. I use it. I'm now using it for multiple games. Like, they have Cyberpunk now. They have the Cosmere game. Like, I'm using it for like all of my games. So I'm big fan. But their Vampire Nexus is the best.
They have it for Starfinder too. Starfinder is so fun.
Yes. They have quite a few games now. They also have Pathfinder, Bub. I know Bub has not been on the Demiplane train the way I am. He's a Roll20 guy, even though they're
my one foray into Demiplane was VTM, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. But then they're like, nah, you can't make custom stuff. There's no customization to it. You kind of have to play with what it is.
Yes, that is one thing. That's why I was like, oh, now that Roll20 and Demiplane are combined, I really hope they bring some of the things from Roll20 to Demiplane, and then you could really
I'm happy to make the switch if it's just better, but like
for me it's like the loading time sometimes takes a while.
It's very slow, but to me it's just the character sheets are just so good, and just like when you have to level up your kindred,
the leveling up process, I will say, is much better. Yeah,
and building a fucking because it takes so long to build a VTM character, and just
knowing like what you can do and like what you're like, if you have the right stats to be able to get the thing right, like
does
it gives
all
you
the
kind
math
of like the
for
requirements.
You.
Yeah,
yes, and it's like, you can't pick this up because, or just like, don't forget to pick up your flaws, or like those kinds of things that like you might. It's really good. So
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. And also like things like if you click on my Bane, Painful Kiss, and I forget, oh shoot, like what does that mean? Or like you click on it, it tells you what it is. If I forget what I'm a Sandman, I'm like, what do I have to roll for that? I click on it, it tells me Dexterity Stealth. So I'm an advocate.
Yep. kind of what I was looking for. Thank God. Okay. Now the last thing I need to look at your character sheet very quickly. Miss Elspeth.
Bullshit. Tempting fate. Okay.
Yeah, the funny thing is because some people are using demiplane and some people aren't. Each character sheet is very
Right.
different
Mine
on
is
my
a
Roll20.
semi-plain character
Yeah,
sheet.
I'm like waiting for yours to load now. All right.
Yeah.
I want to look at.
They're both all
your-
on the thing, fortunately. The tempting
Yeah.
fate thing is interesting because it actually like auto applies to your stuff too.
And I don't want to fuck this up, so I'm gonna message you on Discord, right? Real quick.
Oh boy.
I just want to make sure I
Ooh.
get this correct.
Now I'm like, what is happening?
Unrelated, everybody, I bought a sticker because it reminded me of Elspeth from an artist. It's a girl
Aw.
like in all black with like a veil and she's holding a skull and she's got
It
blonde hair.
does.
does,
It
yeah.
is. It's
And
cute.
I
Are
bought
you
it
gonna
from
put
an
it in
artist.
your
Yes, in my character journal. Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Dude, you
So
do not follow Tracy's character journals. They are the bomb. I
yes.
wish
Well,
I had time for stuff like that.
I will soon do a full because my camera has blur, but I will soon do a full breakdown of my Elspeth character journal because it's very
awesome.
pretty. It's very pretty, and I'm very proud of it.
I sent you a message. Tell me if that's correct or not.
Oh God. Okay. Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. And you don't have anything of that lore sheet, right?
I do.
Which one? That's what I was looking for, but can you just show me which one, or just copy paste which one? Is it the first one? Is it the first dot?
I believe it is the first dot. Yes.
Okay, so
yes, I have the first dot from that lore
Okay,
sheet.
cool.
Did I just
That's
unplug
fine.
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna fix that.
Unplug my headset.
She gets so excited.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I appreciate your patience. I needed to double check a couple of things before we move forward. So we see you shatter a candle. We see you get nervous. You said you after you like shatter the candle, gather your things. Do we see you pace like?
Yes, pacing, just waiting for Annika. Like I think she's packed because she moves quickly. She's packed, ready to leave, and is just now waiting for Annika.
You maybe wait a total of like 15 minutes. That likely feels like an eternity of anxious pacing for our dear Elspeth. That maybe even on occasion, because you're so young, borders on mechanically wondering if a fear frenzy would be, you catastrophize so much what could possibly happen that you bring yourself to the brink a few times of just being like, oh shit. But you talk yourself down, you kind of gather your things, like you're fairly confident Annika won't kill you. She's never talked about killing you before. And eventually, though, those 15 minutes end when you hear the bell at the front of the door jingle. And then instead of footprints of a civilian, you don't hear anything until the door itself to the back room jingles open and you watch as Annika in her tall, kind of lanky demeanor strides in silently. Of course, she is taking steps, but she is naturally a very silent mover. She steps in and she's wearing a long, kind of off-white gown that goes all the way down to her heels and all the way to her wrists. And she has a frilly kind of old-timey hat that she takes off and hangs up where an umbrella is. And as she turns to you and you see her pale, sunken eyes, but still a pleasant and comforting look, the one that you've kind of come to learn as pleasant and comforting from her anyway, stares down to you, and there is only what can be described as, from Elspeth's view, likely a tense, nervous silence as she turns to you, and she stops moving, and after a beat or two that she's expecting you to speak first. You don't know what she knows, if anything. So.
Yeah. Elspeth immediately thinks she knows something and is like, oh God. But she will just start with the normal, like, good evening.
She gives you a smile when you say good evening. She like breaks out of that stillness and gives you a polite nod. Good evening, my child. Please regale me with the tales of your evening.
Well, I have some news to share, and it's not my proudest information to share back with you, my sire.
When you say that, she moves, begins to move, and she just kind of glides past you toward a back table that we've seen a couple of times, and she starts placing some things down on the table, but continues to listen.
You see Elspeth fidget with her hands, like her nails like start just scratching at her knuckles, and she's like playing with like the little bracelet on her wrist, just twirling it incessantly. Well, the group that I have been working with, we in the past nights, we took some time away from the city. We had been on a bit of a hunt, a chase for a individual associated with our friend David, and we went to go look for him and took him from New York. She just like kind of glosses over the fact, like just New York, and she just keeps going.
As soon as the word New York probably falls from her lips, you just like, you give it's like a tell-all. You just gush everything that happened, from David walking in on the apartment, breaking the door down, getting shot, pulling him away, not cleaning up the masquerade properly, driving off, getting pulled over, all that tale by tale, beat by beat.
And let it be known, everybody, like Elspeth, she's kind of afraid. She doesn't want to lie to her sire. She just goes off and shares the story to Annika.
And you do so. It probably takes, with the detail that Elspeth gives, probably goes a good 20 minutes of just like going over everything. And Annika throughout is paying attention. She turns back, gives you knowing nods. Never once does she look back to you with a judgmental look. Never once does she stop what she is doing and you catch her off by surprise by anything you said. When you finally finish by I'm assuming telling her about the prince meeting that you had the night prior. She and then when you say that and you kind of like are up to present day, where's Elspeth going to say something?
No, tell her what what our fate is what she'll end with.
After you finish that, without hesitation, without a single beat of silence, she simply says, "I had wondered the details of your punishment." And then she turns to you.
Had you heard about it?
Only whispers of potential misdeeds. Elspeth, my child, can you remind me, or perhaps tell me what you remember of the bloodline that you belong to?
Like specifically, like us being the clan of death, and we have had a long history dealing with the dead that goes all the way back to like really ancient times.
She, as you kind of babble and almost are looking for guidance as to what she's talking about, and you're kind of like recounting the basic history that you're probably taught right away. There is you see her bring her hand up and gently play with one of the rings on her finger that holds the head of that shows the shape of or should I say the silhouette of a Medusa's head.
Yes. Specifically, you've told me that, well, you've always used the term that we are like warriors, fighters. We were some sort of, I don't know, protectors or something like that.
When you say protectors, she does actually give you a very, very subtle nod. The situation you find yourself in with your coterie is one that, though disappointing and frustrating, unsurprising. You do have David in your coterie.
Yes.
How do you feel about David?
He is very curious and inquisitive and very kind and caring. but also troubled by many things. And um, I want to help him. I do.
She takes that in. She doesn't nod or anything. She just seems to listen intently. Um, do you let does Elspeth let it linger? Be like, I do. Like, I want to protect him. I do. And do you like let it kind of like sit, or do you continue to talk?
She continues. I don't understand how sometimes I think about it, how it all happened, how he was just placed in our unlives so suddenly, and now we are wound up in a bunch of entanglements. Uh, it's a
She
it's a lot.
I am often left with the question of how he is as well. I ask you if you remember our teachings on your bloodline not as a quiz and measure of your memorization skills about our history, because of original purpose given to us before we had a glorious family reunion. You are an echo of that bloodline still, and the echoes of who we are run through you. You wish to help and protect. That is what you are going to do, child. And you watch as she slips the ring off of her finger and places it on on the table and steps to the side and gestures for you to come take it.
Whoa.
This is not an acknowledgement that you are one of the Lamier, but that you are on the path. Protectors. I am charging you with protecting David. And in the meanwhile, you will have the second dot of that lore sheet, but it's specifically to David only, not to anyone else.
Yo, that is
It is the protection.
awesome.
It is the protection skill. And what that does is you gain 2 dice bonus when you're blocking maneuver to protect someone else. So if you go to block David specifically, you'll get an additional 2d10 onto that roll.
Yo,
That's
this is
sick.
sick. This is cool.
That ring, and she gestures to the ring will be yours to wear until I demand its return. A symbol of your first charge. What do we see on Elspeth's face when this is all being laid out? I imagine this is not what she was expecting.
No, not at all. She takes the ring and holds it and grasps it, and it not to sound like cliche, but she feels that she's like filled with determination. She holds it, and it is like suddenly the anxiety on her face eases down because it starts to make sense, like why she felt drawn to David, what the the bond that she felt, why the two of them specifically have just like had a certain connection. It's because that she's equating it now to her purpose, her bloodline, her history, and this solidifies that purpose. So she holds it and she understands her purpose.
It's probably just a silence when she picks it up too.
Yep, exactly that. I think
you pick it up, and do you put it on? Or you just hold it and place it, and like do you hold onto it, and like what do you do with it initially?
I think I think she would wear it. She would put the ring on and look at the symbol, just kind of keep it close to herself.
And is there any questions that you would ask before we move on to the next bit here?
I guess, yeah. So Elspeth would just this new these new terms that I have to adhere to. Is this is this normal for the Camarilla and everything that happens? Like if somebody messes up, makes a mistake, is this what it's going to be like forever? Are we going to have to atone and get all these new regulations and rules because of things that I don't know. Is this normal? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, as that kind of like fumbling, worried question falls out from Elspeth's lips, and uh, Annika lets it linger in the air for a moment. She answers with a question: would you have a preference for something else?
Um, no, honestly, I thought I was gonna have to face the sun. I was a little worried that we were in big trouble. So I'm okay with what we got.
How many do you have a lot of spare experience points out of curiosity?
I don't think so.
Do you
Let
have
me.
5?
No.
Okay. How many do you have?
Wait, actually, I have not been keeping them on my character sheet.
I need to look. You don't.
Because I haven't spent any, so I should actually have 5 by now, right? Because we're getting one every
Yeah, I
other.
think so. Pretty sure. Do you have ashes to ashes or no?
For episode 15.
I do not have ashes to
We're
ashes.
we're
Oh,
getting
okay.
we're getting one
One-
per session.
Oh, we're
1%.
getting 1%. I thought it was one every other session.
I thought. Yeah, I'll have to look. Whatever.
Because I was gonna say that's a good amount of experience. I actually do have 5.
Okay. But you don't have no ashes to ashes. Okay.
No.
Is it? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Um, it's up to you, obviously. But Annika would, having been placing things on the table the whole time, she looks to you and she says, I am aware you will be leaving for some time. As you informed her, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to impart upon you a single lesson before you leave. Another simple. And she looks like she's going to finish the sentence, but then never finishes the sentence. I imagine you step up.
Yep.
And what she is going to teach you is ashes to ashes. If you're willing to spend the experience points to purchase it. And what this is a level 1 Oblivion power that quite simply, when you touch something, it just destroys it.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at power enables vampire destroy a corpse, essentially. We saw Ava do this
Yep, I remember.
once in an uncontrolled
That's
situation
cool.
that didn't go super well.
Very much remember that. Yes.
But you're gonna rouse check, and you can kind of just disintegrate a corpse over the course of I think 3 turns is what it is. And she essentially has books out that are you see her bring out only when lessons are being done, writings that are a mix of her own because you recognize her handwriting and then other handwriting that you are unfamiliar with amongst pages that are who knows how old but still well kept and well cared for. A very plain black journal with like a very simple lock on the front of it is what's taken out. And a lot of what's written in there, even if you were to try and glance and copy it, makes no sense to you because it would require knowledge that Elspeth simply doesn't have. But she simply says, death, as I've taught you many a time, is a natural progression of life and unlife. There will be a day where you, I, and even those who think they will never die again will come to. And we, as the bloodline of death, can usher and hasten certain natural processes. That's where she flips open to a notebook, and you see hand-drawn sketches of bodies that were clearly dissected. You see like cut lines that they were like on this outward sketch as they just peeled open with some notes and whatnot. And what she does is goes over the process of taking your blood, and as you rouse it and channel it, it's like connecting yourself in the philosophical way to their dead blood. And as you make that connection, urging it to expedite the process to its natural conclusion, to have everything, all of the cells and everything decay rapidly, to move it to a point where it is unrecognizable, the body gone. And like I said, as long as you're willing to spend the experience, she is teaching you ashes to ashes. If you do so, you go ahead and write it down under its level 1 Oblivion Power. It's on page of Cult of the Blood God 204.
Okay, I'll add it.
And you can add that as you will.
Awesome.
And this takes hours of the night. She's going to have you, like, she doesn't have a body for you to practice on, but she has you going through, like, the process of channeling it, what exactly you're focusing on. Occasionally she'll bring a dead rat out, or she'll have like a dead rodent or something that you'll have you practice on, and we'll see you try and fail, and as she tutors you, and a small brief little montage of you kind of being taught to tap into something you've already learned to tap into briefly as it is. Yeah, and so you will get access to ashes to ashes. Yeah, go ahead.
As we're doing this, and once we kind of conclude this session of learning this, Elspeth actually does have a question for Annika, and she asks her, how long did it take you to learn these kinds of things? Like, I know I don't want to get ahead of myself in my studies, but I recently, I was able to acknowledge the ghost in this place, and I tried talking to it, but I really couldn't get much out of it. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to take for me to really commune,
She looks understanding when you say this, almost a look of almost like a look like a mother would give their child when they say something so earnest but still so naive in many ways. And as you finish that, she says, Elspeth, the lingering impatience of mortality sits on you like a cheap perfume bought at a local hardware store. Not a hardware.
That would be some weird perfume.
That's what kind of
perfume you wearing?
The scent of sawdust.
Department store is what I meant. Hardware store is a different kind of perfume. She smiles.
Some garden manure.
You're only like a year old, right?
Yeah, a
Like
year a
1
ghoul,
year?
1 year ghoul, 1 year kindred.
Yeah. You have been a kindred for a single year. It took me many decades to learn some of the things I learned.
She's like, her eyes raise at decades.
She wouldn't see a response on her face, but internally there's she expected that. You have infinity, more or less, in front of you. Take your time. Rushing things only, and she gestures to the rat before she touches it, brings it to a premature demise.
She nods at acknowledgement at that and doesn't push on it further. Internally, Elspeth is like,
internally,
yeah, like her, just like she's thinking back to when she was trying to talk to Janet's husband, and she's like, man, I really could like get more, but there's not much I can do with that little guy, right now. And she's just like, so it's like, but she's not going to push it with Annika. So she just keeps those thoughts locked away.
Yeah. And when you see her thinking that, Annika kind of finishes her little speech to you by saying things like, death is a part of nature, but like any good gardener, one can tend to. And I don't want her to say manipulate, because that's not the word she'd be looking for. Coexist with. And when the time comes, and she taps on the table with her long nail twice, off from one of the shelves, you just see a hand, from the Addams family. Yeah, you just see it kind of like move over. You will be able to work with death by your side, like I. and you just see the hand grab with its finger like a couple of the bones of the rat that's left over, and while it holds it with just this one with three, it's like ding, 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 and walks off to like a nearby like garbage bin and brushes it off into there.
Yo, Annika's so cool. That's awesome.
As she turns back to you, but we all must build a foundation. Without a solid foundation, one will simply collapse. Take your time. You have, she would say, you would have decades ahead of you. Gather your things. Should you have any questions, now is the time to ask. I am not sure how often I will be seeing you in the next 6 months, you said.
Yeah, like a semester. It's just like in college. I'll write you a letter.
She doesn't react to that. Prove to the prince that you are honorable. Prove to the prince that you are willing to obey by its laws, by enduring its punishments. You may disagree with the house that you live, but it would be foolish to ignore the one who runs it.
I will do us all proud here.
You have already done me very proud. Gather your things and depart if needed. If you have any other questions, I will be here for the remainder of the night. Elspeth, I imagine, does gather her things.
Yes, she gets the last of her stuff. She has her little suitcase, like literally, like she is going away, and she'll pack it all in the car.
When you go out to the front office, you see Ivy there, and you've got your little suitcase, and she's like, "You are actually leaving."
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna miss you so much.
She gives her a hug, and she gives.
As you
she
give her a hug,
Kaya.
she kind of like half jokingly says, "Like, at least you'll get to look at David every day, right?" And she giggles.
Elspeth will laugh at that too.
She says, I mean, are you allowed to come back at all while you're out there?
I don't know. They I say so like they say that I have to stay there, and I don't want to mess anything up, so I probably won't unless it's like a life or death emergency.
She nods and like almost looks a little worried, but again, you know she's new. She's the newer of the two, if I remember correctly, Ivy. But she nods. She's like, I'll make sure the shop runs smoothly, and I'll keep your room nice and clean upstairs. And I look forward to you coming back. It's gonna be weird having you only Annika around and not seeing you around.
I know, but I like I said, I'll write to you guys, and I will come back as soon as I can.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Did I ask? Did you put the Gorgon ring on? I'm sorry.
She did. Yes,
okay, cool,
I did.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you gather your things. You know, did you want to ask Annika any other questions regarding literally anything at all, or are you just kind of quietly grabbing your things?
I think that's everything.
Okay, you grab your things and you start making your way out to the quarry. It'd be the night after everybody moved in that you'd probably get there, and we'll cut back to that in a moment as we get back to Betty to wrap up what she was doing as well, who she was chasing Tina. Going up to the Boston Commons to follow this lead after feeding on the man who fell asleep. Now, as you make out to the more common area, Betty, I just am going to have you roll. Let me see. What do I want to make you roll? Probably the same thing as last time, with streetwise kind of thing. But let me just, I'm going to have to put these characters down in the character Bible so I have them. Even if we don't see them again, you never fucking know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Give me a wit streetwise, Betty, please.
All right. Wits streetwise. Oh, I was thinking I probably should have asked for that. That's okay.
If you want to, I'll still let you roll an extra 2. You can just throw 2d10 free. Like rouse the blood and then throw 2d10 out there. Okay. With so what's
one
that,
more
3 successes? Yeah, 3 successes. Fantastic. So you make your, like I said, you kind of just make your way out there, and I imagine you do what you did when you were out in there. You know, wandering around a little bit, hovering, looking around. You know where Night Eyes is what you knew her as. Tina kind of spends. And like I said, Tina is a little bit standoffish unless you're somebody who knows her extremely well. And she's not like a contact for you right now or anything like that. But you've bumped into her as one of the things Betty is like, as part of being a Ravnos. You know a lot more people than a normal mortal might, and you have a lot more tertiary contacts. Again, she won't know, she doesn't talk freely, but you know where she hangs out. And with 3 successes, after about an hour of spending some time, the edge of like where some dive bars are, you would actually catch her kind of walking out of an alleyway with her hands in her jeans pocket. She's wearing just a band tee of some kind. You can't quite make the details out of. She's a younger woman. She has a short, like almost buzz cut, but not quite. She's like walking hurriedly across the street, looking both ways, not clearly seeing you. Doesn't look like she's particularly worried about anything, but she is moving like she's got a place to be.
All right, then Betty, is she walking towards me or away?
No, she's like, so we'll say you're like looking down the street and she's walking across it in like a T shape from you, perpendicular.
Okay,
from you,
so I'm like
across.
here and she's.
Yep, she's walking across the street in front of you.
Okay, I'll walk her direction and then.
Do you want to like get behind her, follow her? Do you want to cut her off, or do you want to stay back and like quietly follow her? Like, what is Betty looking? How are you looking to approach, basically?
I think she's approaching carefully but confidently and like directly to Tina.
Okay, cool. So you can like let her cross the street, kind of come up behind her and like call out her name or something.
Betty like is holding like a lit cigarette that she's actually smoking out of, like,
of course.
actively.
We can hear the crackling of the paper burning back as the smoke falls out of her lips.
Yeah, and Betty's just like kind of like shakes her like hand towards her like an emotion, almost like a wave, but like a little bit more shaky than a wave. And
with the cigarette between your fingers kind of thing.
Yeah. And then she's just like, "Hey, sweetheart, slow down. Where are you headed?"
I'm gonna give her a roll to see if she recognizes you. Oh, 3 successes. There's a wave and there's a moment, but it's hard to fucking forget Betty. Even if you've only talked to her a couple times, even if the name doesn't come back to her right away, there is a moment where you wave and she stops dead and she snaps over to you, not in a nervous way, but someone who's very often clearly walking around at night knows to like watch over her shoulder. And you see her reach for something in her pocket that as soon as she sees it's you, her hand comes out and she's like, oh, we've talked a couple times. I haven't seen you in a while. Man, what are you doing out here? And she's like clearly reaching for a name that's not coming to her lips, but she recognizes your face.
Yeah, Betty doesn't say her name.
Yeah, you just kind of like let that like go and you move on with like what you want to say next.
She just says,
"Oh, I'm here to see what the night has whispered in your ear."
She kind of looks both ways. So, that's Betty. She's very nonchalant, asking on the sidewalk. She keeps at that when you say that she keeps walking, but like with a you're gonna follow kind of look, like keep walking while we talk.
Betty grins at that, and you hear like the squeaking wheel of the cart moving behind her.
Yeah, can you give me? I know it's not your strongest, but can you give me a manipulation or even charisma persuasion roll, whatever you prefer?
Manipulation persuasion is fine for me.
Okay, do it up.
3.
Wow, that's really, really good. As you and I'm sorry, what was exactly you said? You can follow her and you say, "Oh yeah, you're here for some like you're here for some like thing." So I said as she walks, she's like, "Okay, let's like keep your voice down." What?
Well,
and she reaches back for like a cigarette, almost expectantly, like if you're gonna do this.
She will hand the one that she's like actively smoking to Tina.
She looks at it and there is a general look of like, "Are you fucking serious?" But she shakes her head and
when she gives that look, Betty will say,
"Well, I'll give you another one if the information's good enough."
Okay. Well, what do you ask exactly?
She kind of is examining Tina to see like what she's got going on, and then she says,
She's got knee-high combat boots. She's wearing she's got like a cargo, like tight cargo pants that run up right to where her knees meet the boots. And she's got a really like bright pink with a neon like fuck it, green alien, because I love aliens, on her shirt that she's wearing with buzz cut in like a deep midnight eyeshadow.
Nice.
That probably looks horrible in real life, but in my imagination, it looks sick. And like I said, her hair
It gives
short,
like
but
an
mostly
edgy
buzzed.
vibe.
Slightly,
I like it.
yeah. So sorry, go ahead. What would you add? What are you asking specifically?
She's like,
Maybe or maybe not. You'll have the answer for me. I'm looking for someone by the name of William.
She laughs. It's fucking Boston. You know how many fucking Billies are in Boston? I need more than that.
This one's a boring looking one.
She shakes her head. She takes a deep drag of the cigarette before she hands it back. She's like, "Trust me, I met many a Billy who said they're going to be exciting, and they are far from. I need physical things.
Polite,
Give me a description."
clean cut, smells like a hotel lobby.
Okay, that narrows it down a little bit. Where can do you know where he works? Do you know anything about like why are you coming to me with this? And if like she gestures
Seems like
to like
he
a
might
street.
have some connections with the FBI. You see, cardboard shares
Oh,
some
Jesus.
information that you might know.
Oh my God. She just like rolls her eyes. I can't, you talk to fucking cardboard?
Well, more like he talked to me, but yes.
And you endured that for more than 5 minutes?
Endured. I enjoyed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And do you give like a physical description of what this guy looked like too?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So she takes him in, she's like, oh man. Do you also give the detail that he has like a weird night schedule? Or do you leave that out?
She will provide that, yeah.
Okay. If you provide that, I won't have her roll. She'll know who you're talking about. She's like, oh, yeah, that Billy. What about him?
I'm just looking for more information on him. You don't see those type out in the night like us.
He's a cheap piece of shit. What he is, for one.
Oh.
Kind of a rude asshole, cold.
Interesting.
What? Why?
So polite by day, rude by night.
No, rude all the time. I don't know what he's like during the day. She shakes her head like, you're the one that told him he's only out at night. And she's like, you're right. He's only out at night. Only thing I can think of, she's like, there was once where I like saw him meet up with an old guy that called him Billy. I've never seen anybody call him anything other than, well, it's either William.
So Billy, anything else about him? Who's this old guy that he's talking to?
Oh God, I can tell you what he looked like. I don't know his name. Older guy, silver slick back hair, expensive everything. Watch, suit, shoes. Feel like if I got 30 feet, anywhere within 30 feet of him, he'd start yelling at me.
Well, that's why you have to sneak up on them like a ghost.
She shakes her head. She's like, yeah, I don't really need to get mingled in with those fucking business assholes. She looks you up and down. She's like, not to be rude or nothing, but why the fuck are you asking? Because you ain't his type.
How do you know what his type is?
And then there's just like, when you say that,
When she raises her eyebrow,
there is a stark camera shot where it's like this profile shot of the two of you standing on the side of the street, both stopping dead. A car drives by, it's just silent, as there's just like this look of like, you know what? You're right. Maybe you are. She
takes a big puff and holds it in and like blows some rings.
She looks. She actually has a look of like impressed at the smoke rings that you blow out from your lips and stuff. And can you give me a wits awareness, please?
Sure. 2.
And if you want to spend a willpower, you can reroll 3. It's up to you though.
Why not? Let's do it. We're getting towards the end of the day. Ooh. That's helpful. So 4.
As you're talking to her, you see people walking around, of course. But as you glance over, you see, again, you see wanderers, homeless folk walking around. Well, occasionally one catches your eye. Something about him as he's walking by, and he's pushing. He's like carrying like a trash bag, and he's dressed in like a t-shirt and some mismatched jeans and some like iron toe like construction boots. But like while he on the outside is wearing the clothes that would have him stick out or like blend in, he is almost too clean cut otherwise. And if that wasn't enough, when you look over and you notice him, every time you've kind of like looked over, you catch eyes with him and he realizes you've caught eyes with him. And when that happens, he takes a sharp turn into an alleyway and it seems to walk away. Now you can keep talking. You have two choices. Keep talking to Tina because Tina did not notice and pry for more information, or chase them, or let her. Like, what do you do? What are you gonna do? He doesn't look like he sprinted or anything. You see him but if you don't move now, you will lose sight of him.
Betty will say,
"Well, Tina, it was very nice talking to you, and I suppose you did give me what I was looking for."
and she'll flick the other cigarette that she's also smoking her way. And then Betty just kind of like starts wandering off. But this time I think she's going to sneak and try to like follow this other person who's
okay.
can.
Give me a wits awareness before you decide to sneak.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because you're deciding to follow. Again, you can re-roll 2 of those if you want to spend a willpower. Totally up to you.
Oh, I'm getting close to.
Yeah, no, this is dangerous. You don't want to get exhausted.
Oh yeah.
You can hold on to those 2 if you want. Your call. Yep. So it's 2 anyway.
Should have. Too late.
That's okay. What I will say is you keep eyes on him, though the cars drive by and it kind of becomes difficult, but you are able to cross the street. And as you enter the alleyway, you realize sneaking might be pointless because you see him as he gets a good distance away. You see him break into a sprint.
Oh, interesting.
You have the choice to chase, but it will be, I think it's Dex Athletics versus Dex Athletics.
I think Betty
Betty leave your cart behind.
Yeah, Betty makes a sigh.
She's like, "I suppose it's gonna be one of these kind of nights."
And she'll push her cart like off to the side to try to, and then she kind of like pulls out a blanket really quick and just
throws it
over it. And she just, it's like, like that book, like a vampire.
Have celerity? I can't remember.
I do not have celerity.
Do you want to rouse the blood to add 2d10 to this Dex Athletics roll?
Yes.
Give me opposed Dex Athletics with it taking a number of rounds of you succeeding to catch up without them. Okay, you're at 3, getting hungry again. You've had bad rouse checks tonight.
I know. I've been rolling strange on a lot of things. I do not have athletics, but I am dexterous.
That's fair.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Definitely want to reroll.
2, 3. Yeah, you can only reroll one of them. So
1. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your willpower at now?
I'm low now. I have like 1 left.
Oh shit.
Or
yeah,
2.
1 more and you're gonna start taking penalties.
Yeah.
All right. So you
left.
roll with that reroll of the 1, you do tie. So I always give ties to the player. And so you're able to gain ground on him immediately. Like you see him take off and you're like, God, it's gonna be one of those nights. And we see Betty, who's plays hunched over and hobbles. She kind of puts a blanket over. She steps into the alley, and we see immediately she straightens her back. She probably like drops a little bit of the loose clothing, or at least buttons it up, as she does. And all of a sudden, we see that old shuffling lady scam dissipate as she breaks into a full-on run. And we hear the clacking of your flat tops. Like, what is Betty wearing? Sneakers, boots? What does Betty wear?
I think she's got like, oh God, because we have the picture of her. Forgot what I was wearing. I think it's
whatever
like,
shoes you're wearing. We hear that hit the concrete, a splash of water near like a dumpster as you hit that, and we see your own reflection rippled in that water as our camera lingers. They turn and they're going on to they're whipping their way up, trying to climb. No. They turn and they're about to like run across the street. You need to succeed at least 1 more time to actually fully catch up before they hit the street. So go ahead and make me 1 more roll as he gets 1 more roll.
Could I instead do chemistry and create some kind of hallucination in their mind?
Absolutely. Yes, you could. It was a rouse check if I remember correctly. Let me look up your power.
It is one rouse.
specifically.
I can share
Um,
it in the chat.
Yeah. Let me look up your first level ability that you're going to use. Let's see. What is the name of it? Sorry, which one?
Chemistry. I pasted
Okay.
it in chat.
Oh, sick. Sorry, I wasn't looking.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, level 2. Sick. Okay. Your hunger's at 4.
Oof,
Fantastic.
I'm hungry. I
Manipulation,
might eat
state
him.
versus composure, wit. So he'll make brief. Oh, but he might not be able to make it because he's mortal. Let me check. Any of a can affect any single sense. It can be visual, auditory, tactical. Yeah. Single sense. Got it. Occurs long enough to make an impression before ceasing. Okay. How I'm assuming you want to distract him with something. What is the illusion you're creating? It is a single sense. So it's visual, auditory.
You said
or
he's
smell.
climbing?
No. He's running down an alley, about to cross a street. He's about to run out of an alley and cross a street, making his way to another building over the other side that you would see as a parking garage.
I'm going to have her be where in the direction that he's going.
Like a visual, like you appear right in
Yeah.
front of the exit to the alley for like a brief moment that would actually distract him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure he doesn't. I don't think
So I
he
can
gets
catch
a
up to
roll.
him.
Those who fail to resist lose their next act. Yeah. However, they can define. Unlike most presence, chemistry can be used. Okay, it's not. He's not immune. He's gonna have a low roll though. All right, I need you to roll me manipulation obfuscate roll
Mm-hmm.
versus his composure wits, which is he's not high on composure.
Manipulation, obfuscate. That's the part that's weird to roll. So
2 successes is what I rolled.
attribute, manipulation, obfuscate, roll.
3
3.
successes, so you win. So as he's about to break for the alleyway exit, all of a sudden you're like, fuck it. So you channel into your blood. You're still moving, but you feel your blood begin to course through, and you just, as you look out to where it is, you visually see yourself there. Obviously, you're not there, but you see yourself there. And when that becomes real, it becomes real for the individual who also sees it. And you see him, because he failed, immediately pull himself short, like he was about to run through and you appeared within a foot of him. He skids and tries to stop himself from falling over. Let's see if he does. He will. He skids and he doesn't go prone, but he drops to a knee out of sheer shock and surprise. And that will last. He'll lose his action for this turn. Your illusion disappears after 1 round.
I'm trying to catch up.
You will catch up because you distract, because you stopped him. You don't have to make an opposed roll. You just catch up to him. And you, what do you do when you catch up to him? Because he's like at the edge of the alleyway about to break across. But you
Yeah.
You feed. You're at 4 hunger, but he's not bleeding or anything, so you don't have to like roll. But you will have to make a frenzy check if you feed. Keep that in mind.
I think she grabs a hold of his shirt.
Yep.
And says,
"Don't you dare make me run in these boots, sweetheart."
Do you want to are you trying to like pin him to the ground or just like grab hold of his collar, like to let him know you've got it?
Grab hold of him that knows to know that I've got him.
He would whip his head back again. He doesn't move, so you go run up to him. And on next round, he will try and shake you free, but you're engaged with him, so you also get to call your action too. So what do you want to do on the following round?
I think she will go in for a bite if he's going to do that.
Okay, absolutely. So that is going to be a dexterity melee attack.
Okay. Ooh. Dexterity melee.
Yep, because you're using your teeths as a weapon.
Teeths.
So it could be brawl. It might be brawl. It might be brawl now that I think about it. Is it the same
Well,
dice pool for you either way? You have any?
No. I mean, yes, it's the same exact dice pool either way.
Okay, so we'll just doesn't fucking matter. So 2 successes, actually pretty good. You already have him caught in surprise, so he's rolling at a penalty. Oh, I typed that in Google. My bad. Try that again. Google's
What
like,
did Google tell you?
It gave me 2 different rolls, but I'm going to do it anyway. 2 successes. Unfortunately, he needed to crit, so you succeed. So as soon as you sink your fangs into him, he's about to fight you and shove you off, like mumbling at you and trying like under his breath swears, maybe even about to shout for help. all of that immediately ceases. His body immediately gives into the ecstasy of the bite, and you fall out of combat. However, you taste blood.
Yep.
So I need you to make me a hunger frenzy check.
Okay. What is that roll? Resist frenzy?
Is there on the old character sheets? Is there a frenzy
resist
roll?
frenzy?
Yeah, it should be resist frenzy. With a taste of blood, it is holy shit. I said you need three. You need 3. You succeed in that.
Barely. Yeah.
We also did learn last week, and that'll be going forward, that we've been doing hunger frenzy wrong. And when you feed, you don't automatically kill the individual. You feed until you're down to 1, and then you're out of hunger frenzy. So if that means they're not dead, then they're not dead. You don't always kill them. You only kill them if they have less blood than you need to get to hunger 1. Yeah, exactly. That's how Tracy.
I use that in my games too, Mathis.
Yes, I fucked it all up, apparently. I was looking at the rules. I forget what I was looking at for hours, because look at the difficulty rolls, and I was reading Hunger Frenzy. I was like, wait a minute, what? I've been making it so much worse for everybody.
You've passed this on to me. The generational storytelling.
So much more punishing than it absolutely needs to be. I'm sorry.
Crazy. That's
absolutely
crazy.
Incorrect of me to have done that.
It's kind of more fun that way, though.
It is
makes
actually
it more scary.
I kind of like it.
It does. It makes it more scary, and it does force you to drop humanity a lot faster that way, because you're gonna. But it also makes sense because it's hard to resist 3 difficulty at Hunger 4. It really is. It's really, really hard. Either way.
Do I feed?
You resist the frenzy. You can feed however many points you want to off of him. You don't have to feed down to 1. He will be. You can feed down to 1 hunger. He will be barely alive, but he will be alive. But how many points of hunger do you want to feed off of him?
I'll feed 2.
2. Okay. So he's going to be in it'd take him a day if you really bad for about 24 or 48 hours. He's going to be mostly out of it for the rest of the night, really intoxicated feeling. But in that way, if you you could take him, you can take him away and be like, you don't even have to you could kidnap him, but you could literally put his arm over your shoulder and be like, my friend's trash or whatever. I think you can leave him there. It doesn't. I don't know.
No, she'll put her arm around him and bring him back towards her cart. And while she's doing that, try to have.
There's a nice place to bring him where nobody's going to be looking for a while.
Yeah, in the
quarry.
The quarry.
Yeah,
I don't know about the quarry yet, though.
Oh, you probably think and bring him to Janet's then.
Yeah,
Janet wouldn't be there anymore. That's true. Yeah, you have to. So you get him over your shoulder, back to your cart. You're out of combat.
Is he capable of talking?
Not coherently.
Okay,
that's the downside of feeding. If you had fed 1 point off of him, he'd be able to kind of talk, but he'd be really drunk. 2 points, he's barely coherent. 3 points, he's almost dead.
Gotcha. Yeah, bring him back to my cart, and then I kind of put him over the
front. Long gone. She's gone.
Yeah. No, I put him over the front to kind of make it easier for me, and I'm going to use the cart as a little bit of movement.
Just put him over, and everybody asks you he's drunk, it's not a big deal.
And I will make my way towards Janet's.
We will cut over an hour or so later of you walking from where you are to Janet's. And when you get to Janet's, what you see probably stops you, not in a surprise of oh my God, but surprise, what the fuck is going on? Because you see moving trucks that have completely emptied out. Janet's house looks empty from where you are. It already through the windows, you can see most of the furniture is gone. And you see faces you've never seen before, standing outside the front door, having a conversation, a couple of suited individuals, a woman and a man. And you see some people with moving company outfits, moving new furniture into the house. You see no evidence of Janet, David, Elspeth, Leon. Their vehicle isn't around. Nothing.
Do I see a symbol at all? And on any of the walls?
None of them left. I don't think any of them left you a symbol. I don't think anyone left you a symbol. Though, I will allow David because he'd be the one to think of it, I think. Would you have gone out and been Betty's out there and Elspeth's out there. Elspeth is going to go to the quarry. You also know that Betty has no idea any of you have moved from the house to the quarry because she wasn't present. Would David have left any sort of note or something for Betty to let her know? Because I'm sure Janet was way too busy and occupied with the phone calls to the mafia, to her sire. But David is the thoughtful one out of all of them. Elspeth is too, but Elspeth's not there.
I don't even know where David would have left a note. I honestly like.
Carve
I think
something into the sidewalk,
I
or
think
like
he might like to, but I'm not sure. If he would have, it would have been on. I've got it. It would have been on the dumpster outside of the building.
Yeah.
Probably just like over the green paint of the dumpster. Just like, hi Betty, we went to the quarry. Period. Like very.
Yep.
What a child might do.
Yeah, and honestly, you don't need Betty to roll for that because you've gone in that area. People leave symbols for you there before, and seeing "Hi Betty" is like the least vague thing you've ever seen.
Oh
in
my
your life.
Gosh, can I remove that somehow?
Yeah, no, you can just chip the paint off. You're like,
okay, yeah. I think Betty's
but
gonna try to chip the paint off.
it says, "Hi Betty." At the it probably put Waltham Quarry is what he would have put. You know exactly where that is. It's on the outskirts of Boston territory for what's considered Camarilla Domain. It's a small town about 20 minutes outside of Boston. That is mostly suburban houses and stuff, and some other. And there's an old quarry from like the 50s that has been shut down in Waltham for a very, very long time, for at least 2 decades. It's been shut down. Stuff Betty would all know because she's been around the area for a very, very long time. You would have no idea why they would have gone there, but at least they gave you, where it is, and you can get out that way. You scrape your name off. We see Betty going, probably even saying something like, "What the fuck? Like, why would you like be so fucking obvious? Like, this is terrible. I'll get rid of this. Scrape it off."
And in that case, I think Betty is going to find a spot near here to chill for a little bit until this guy comes to a little bit, and then question him.
It's going to be the next evening that he comes to.
Oh,
he's
gosh.
out for the goddamn night, and he'll probably start kind of getting groggy during the day when you're out. Which is why I was thinking,
then I will make my way to
Janet. Janet's not there, but
if I think I can make it to there in time.
You can. It'll take you most of the night, but you'll be able to get there at the end of the night.
Okay.
When you get there, and we'll just say the timelines kind of line up properly for all this to kind of happen. Maybe it took a little longer for Betty to find Tina by another night or two. It doesn't really matter. Betty would be the first to arrive, though, before Elspeth. And David, it's at this point, Leon's already gone. He's been forced to start securing this place, which means he needs to go buy fucking cameras, equipment, all funded ideally by Janet. We'll figure that out later. And Janet has to go meet and get rid of her, like fully get the boys handed over to a guardian in the mafia is all really we probably know. So when you're there by yourself, I don't know where David would spend his time in the quarry by himself. Maybe just reading. You had come back from the library the night before.
Yeah.
We'll say it's the night after that, so you can rouse check for me, David.
Sure.
Maybe you're just reading a book. You have nowhere pressing to be in this moment. And you would hear it echoing before you would see it. The squeaky wheel of a familiar push cart that from a fucking shopping market that Betty wheels around quite often. Coming in. So Betty, when you walk in, so what the quarry looks like is it's a dirt road off one of like a main street. And the dirt road leads to an old like chain link fence that is quite tall, that has a padlock on it because it's been shut down for a long time. Easy to climb over. Many people have done it many a time. And when you walk in, other than the main building on the surface, it drops into a giant pit. And the pit is 3 layers. It's like 100 feet and then a big layer, another 100 or 200 feet, and then another layer, and then a final one, and then a final bottom layer. It's all what I say it was, not quartz. It was granite. It was a granite quarry. And each layer has like I think I dropped a picture in the Discord as well, but I can go get it. But each layer has like a still pool of water mixed with bat shit that is just stagnant and been sitting there. Bats kind of sit here, and each layer also has like a mining tunnel and then a service tunnel that can bring them up. There's scaffolding with an elevator that is rusted and no longer operational, that hasn't been used in forever. And then they've set up a couple of ladders that they can climb down in, and they have down at the very bottom, I believe it's at the very bottom, they have 3 storage crates set up side by side, brand new. You can they just like stick out because it's just out of that. And that's what you see when you look over the quarry. It's just an empty, abandoned quarry with all the machinery missing, stagnant pools of water, an office building that's small on and has half the roof having caved in from water damage. And like I said, the 3 storage crates and a bunch of, you probably see down there too, Janet's shit or boxes of like that has been getting moved in and the like. And as you have the body over the cart and you wheel and look over, David, sorry, I know I asked you a question, then didn't even bother letting you answer. But what is David doing when she arrives?
I feel like last time in the after show we talked, I was trying to experiment with some new abilities. I wanted to invest further into Visceranica.
Yep.
So I think David is toying around with some of his disciplines just to try to get the hang of them.
Let me look. Which one in particular do you think you're messing with? Is it
Stone
one that you already
carving.
have, or one that you want?
It's one that I it's a level 2 ability. It's stone carving.
Sorry, I was coughing. What?
It's level 2 ability. It's stone carving. You
Wait,
reshape your
do
own
you have
flesh.
that one yet, or no?
No, I was waiting on your
cool,
basically
cool.
like thumbs up on taking that.
Yeah. Let me open up the thing that we've got. That we're gonna be. I forgot to put up on Patreon. That I will make sure we do this week. That's going up this week. Yeah, we agreed on that. Did I say something I shouldn't have?
No, it can go up this week. That's fine. I will change a few things out of it and maneuver some of the excess text away from it.
Yeah. Okay. So, trying to mess with stone carving, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll. I'm not going to have you roll for this because it's still kind of learning. But what we see, I imagine what we see. Are you in your storage crate?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's probably inside of the storage crate.
So we kind of start with Betty wheeling her cart up, and we can hear the wheeling. And as she looks over the edge, our perspective falls over the edge as well, plummeting downward one layer, then the next until we hit the very bottom. And as we squeak under the closed door of one of the storage crates, where we can hear from there the muffled squeaking of the wheel that Betty pushes. But as our camera kind of slides under the door and looking up at David mid experimentation, shall we say, we likely see where would you be like your arm, like your forearm? Would you like more like your chest area? Would you be like?
I think David is starting to realize that when it comes to shaping stone, he needs more than just the blunt edge of his thumb or like the shape of his hand moving. So David is probably changing his fingers. He's going to go into carving claws.
And it's very minor. It won't give you any active like roll benefits of like aggravated damage or extra bonus damage. But what we do see is like our camera slides under, we see his feet, and as we angle up and slowly pan up as the camera rises upward, we actually like see the focus is actually on his two hands, while we see his face out of focus just behind them. As we see him pressing his index finger in a hand, and we see his skin with a little effort and restraint, and occasionally the skin itself seems to push back into place until you press it down harder. Like clay, semi-hardened, you elongate your finger, and then at the very tip, you are able to kind of create, you said like a hook or a claw, like a little claw, like a sharp point. And it holds for a minute. And as you bend your finger, it even holds for a bit, but there seems the tension with the skin, once you bend it, pulls the claw back a bit, and less of a claw and more of a pointed triangle remains after you bend your finger and put it back. And you kind of reshape it a couple times, and then the squeaking finally gets through. And you're like, wait a minute, that's a sound you haven't heard in a few nights.
Yeah.
And we see David likely stop. Do you
No,
reshape your finger?
I don't think so. I think
do that, but you know what I mean.
No, I don't think he does that. I think he probably one, he wasn't expecting company, so there's a strong chance that David just kind of jumps into action, and
it's super subtle. It's not like it's super noticeable unless you're gonna start wagging your finger in front of her face.
Sure.
So you open up the door and you can hear it, and as you look up to the edge, is Betty like looking over the giant pit? Like as she rolls her cart up to the pit past the gate, you would have found, by the way, not only has this gate chain link fence been climbed over a million times, there's multiple places where it has been cut through or just broken from rust that you're able to shove this place is not secure at all. You were able to roll in and, like I said, move up to the edge. What do we see Betty doing? Is she like looking over the edge?
I think she's just looking around. She's like,
this place is.
She's looking for them, right? Like she's like looking for what. Why here? What are they doing here? Yeah.
The tin rolling of a door on one of the storage crates roll open. Some light spilling out from a flashlight or like a little like emergency light lamp that's in there, as the only imposingly tall figure with a wingspan like that steps out and looks up. And in that moment, David, you see Betty. Betty, you see David.
I think before
David,
he steps out,
you do not see her shopping cart or a body yet. You only see her looking over the edge.
I think before I even look over the edge, I just she looks around and she's like, this doesn't seem like a place Janet would be interested in. And then I look over the edge.
She just said it to herself,
and
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, she's saying that to herself, and then she looks over the edge and she sees David down there.
I think,
Well, if it isn't our marbled friend, you always hang out in abandoned quarries alone, Sugar? Or is this kind of a new kink of yours?
That kind of echoes out in the very dead, silent, giant pit of granite.
I'm gonna date myself here, but my headcanon, I see. Do you remember Forrest Gump?
Oh,
yeah.
When he's on the shrimping boat and he sees Lieutenant Dan and he just waves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we see, David. Like,
Yeah, he
waving.
waves. Yeah.
Do you spread your wings and take off?
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, I think it's almost an immediate reaction.
As her words echo out, Betty, from our perspective, we're with you. We see, he's small down there, but his wings shoot out, and with one hard flap, do you light as a feather as well? Is that like a level 0 or free rather?
Yep, it's free.
With a one hard flap, he shoots up about half the different distance. With a couple more flaps, angling himself in your direction. I'd say about 4 rounds worth of time. He like lands next to you with relative elegance last time you've seen him. And as you come up over the edge, you would see her shopping cart with an unfamiliar, homelessly dressed individual limp hanging over it.
And she says, just as you're landing, she's like,
Well, where's the rest of the welcoming committee?
I do not know.
And maybe like on cue at the power of plot, we hear a car rolling up with some headlights in the distant voice of as it pulls up, probably just up the dirt road. You probably don't have it go all the way up to the gate, Elspeth. I'm assuming you took a cab, unless you drove. You have a car.
I do have a car.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's your car.
Right?
Is it your car or is it their car?
It's their car.
Cool. So you probably got an Uber. You don't have a car. You don't own a car. You don't have the money for that shit. So she wouldn't give you her vehicle to keep. Though if you're in the area and you need to use it, obviously you have permission. So you probably hear Elspeth's voice that pulls up to the edges of the dirt road.
He's like,
but
I don't know.
not to the
And then
gate, being
there's a
like,
car that pulls up. Yeah.
yeah, you
Well,
just hear her
maybe
say,
that's them.
no, yeah, this is definitely the place. No, yeah, I know. No, it's definitely the place. I'll be okay. Like, and like the Uber pulls away, and you with your little roll. I just have this image of the golden child girl with her really little rolly like luggage, walking up to the gate with her purse over her and like a couple books she was reading on the ride in, with one earbud dangling out of her ear, like kind of right now. We see her roll up, and this is did you see it last time? You saw it last time. No?
I don't think I've seen it. So
okay, your first time seeing it, but you also see immediately through the gate Betty, David, and some unconscious individual. And you see to the right of you, just within the gate, the tiny little trailer / office building with its roof caved in from water damage. And you can smell, if you take a moment just to take it in a breath, even though you don't, again, your kindred, you don't have to. The air itself is also just kind of musky with the smell of bat guano and stagnant water that's been sitting there. Also to point out, much like the train yard, filled with beer bottles of people partying, like needles, and just this place is visited more often than I think Janet would prefer, and I imagine most others, but it pisses her off a lot. So just like it's also filled with trash as well. You roll up, and
nothing new to Betty.
When Betty goes, where's the rest of everybody? You can hear the rolly wheels on the little dirt road. As you turn around, you can see through the moonlight.
As that car shows up, Betty kind of leans to David and says,
Well, speak of the dead, they'll probably show up in heels as well.
You showed up both at the same time. Did you plan this?
Oh, no.
Hello. Elspeth yells, like echoing down
Elspeth's
the place.
Voice. You haven't heard it from Elspeth in a little bit. You see the happy-go-lucky wave of David through the fence. You were probably about to say, how do I get in? But you see over to your right, like 10 feet, there's a giant gaping fucking hole in the chain link fence you can walk through.
Well, I guess this is the place. David?
Place for what
What is the
exactly?
look
Maybe
on
I
her
should help her
face?
with her bags.
Yeah, that would be great. You want to give me a tour?
Of course, I can show you where Minecraft Marty might be.
Who's
Who's
Minecraft
Minecraft Marty?
He is a ghost.
Well,
A ghost?
Yes.
How do you know?
when the
Jump-
quarry starts whispering to you, David, perhaps we should leave.
Well, jump scare James. He said.
Jump scare James? Is that a...
Give me
I
give
do
me,
poison a cult.
yeah. Wits occult, I guess it would be.
I don't want to roll for this. I don't know who
'Cause-
either of these people are.
Yeah, you don't have to, but if you want to, I imagine if you're on social media in any way.
I have a specialty in ghosts, but I don't think that'll help me
Hilarious.
with
I don't know if
the
your algorithm has a specialty in ghosts though.
the algorithm. Oops, I just rolled that on Demiplane and not on.
See, yeah,
Hold on.
don't worry. I typed it in Google.
Wits
I was
and
looking at the
occult.
game and I had my thing over here, and I was like, didn't even think about it.
2 successes. I'm
Two
not using
successes?
willpower.
I was gonna say, do you want to? Yeah,
No.
with someone jump scare James, huh? With 2 successes, he has 15 subscribers, which like, hey, that's like you have an audience at least, but it's not one that'll probably, unless you're looking for the nichest of niche, like TikTok style ghost hunters, you don't know who jump scare James is.
So okay, so jump scare James told you about Minecraft Marty.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to validate that at some point.
Leon said it was not real either. I do not know. I have not seen
Whether
either of
it's
them
real
since.
or not, this place gives me the creeps.
I think it is quite nice.
Betty has no idea why anybody's here.
Betty, I see you've made your way here to our new
Well,
abode.
I had a very specific message sent to me, by the way. Perhaps maybe we don't just write my name on the side of a trash can in the future.
You got my message.
I did, and I scraped it right off there.
I was worried that you would miss it.
I appreciate it. What happened? I went to Janet's, and there's moving trucks in there, either taking or bringing things in. I wasn't quite paying attention.
You have missed quite a few things. We are in trouble.
For Betty, just so
Apparently.
Betty knows, Betty, it's been fucking 5 nights. What do you mean this? already in
Yeah,
trouble?
apparently. What happened in under a week? What did you all do?
New York didn't quite go the way we had wanted it to.
Betty, they
Well,
went to
why
New
didn't
York.
you wait for me?
Yeah, this is the first time you heard. They actually went to New York. Oh shit.
You went missing. We did not know where you were.
Sometimes you're gone for
Missing?
like nights upon nights, and like
So I'm not missing. You all know I go places to find things.
we need to
But
put
she
an
waves at
air
this body
tag
that's
on
slumped
you.
over her bag.
Yeah, you wave at a body. Yeah, she waves at the body that's like on her cart, slumped over.
It doesn't matter. This is where we live now.
Yes, we this is our new sanctioned domain per the prince. Because we got in some trouble.
Betty, give me a wit streetwise check, please.
Okay.
Just Betty.
And yes, this is our new feeding ground.
3.
3 successes. You had heard some whispers as you were out there. You had a very specific thing you were looking for, so you didn't really look into it. But you heard whispers that there was some sort of international incident between cities, Boston and some other
God.
city. You weren't sure which one. That some idiot fucking kindred got themselves into, and they're lucky they're alive.
Man, word spreads fast around Boston.
Well, that's what all Betty knew, is like that vague little bit of internet. Now she's probably piecing things together. Oh shit, they fucked up. They're out here in the quarry and they went to New York. Even though they didn't give you the details, you probably put 2 and 2 together. They fucked up in New York somehow.
So you're the international incident. So tell me, give me the deets. I want to know what happened. You got into trouble and didn't involve me. How unfortunate for myself.
Well, we got Magpie, so that's the good news. The bad
See,
news
I told you
is
he would be useful.
yeah, useful, I guess. We just didn't know he was a precious cargo to New York,
Yes.
and us taking him from the city and causing a bit of a ruckus went poorly for us. But you know, when we got pulled over by the sheriff of New York, and we turned ourselves in, and we didn't make it any worse. So that's good. But that's why we have to deal with the consequences here in Boston of our actions, getting Magpie and taking him away.
I broke
So you got
into
involved in the
Magpie's house,
bureaucracy of it all.
and then
Yes.
I was shot. And after I was shot, the man was frightened and his wife screamed. And Elspeth ran in and said
And
that
I panicked.
was her
So you
troubled
buried
brother.
the lead of getting shot? You should have started with that part of the story. That's the most exciting one. That wasn't even in your story, Elsbeth.
Yeah, I'm trying to like remove that part of the story from my mind.
No, it was nice.
It went
You
poorly.
came to protect me. That was very nice.
When you say that, Elspeth, protect me.
Oh yeah, okay.
Elspeth actually smiles like just like weird. She just like a weird smile. Yeah, I did, David. I did. And
This is
that's
a
Something
very
I should
painful-
know about between you two. Would you like a spare room for yourselves?
Literally, hang on. Betty could teach you some new magic she learned.
No, it just I did try to protect David from danger, but I broke the masquerade in doing so. So that was kind of bad.
Well, someone did homing bacon for bullets. I suppose
Yeah.
it's best it's you over us,
Betty says, looking at you.
It's true.
True.
I have learned a great deal about myself in a very short time. Like, I can change my body in ways that I do not think that either of you can.
Oh, I want to see that.
David just holds up his finger and like he regular index and what have you, but then the one that he's been working on shaping. Mathis, can you just re-describe that again?
Yeah, what you see for the finger itself at this point, like, is it's as you hold it up. Do you just hold up the finger by itself, or do you hold up your whole hand?
I think
and, like, show the whole
it's probably
hand?
like showing them what the hand looks like and then with the focus on the finger.
When he holds up his whole hand initially, it is obviously noticeable because the index finger is longer than all the other fingers by a little bit. As he brings his other fingers down, you look, like I said, it looks like you can see where indentations of his fingerprints were, where he put pressure as he elongated it. And while it's not the perfect sharp claw anymore, there is like a pointed triangular tip at the top where after, where he bent his finger and then it kind of stretched back. But it looks like kind of like molded clay, if a little bit more like with a stone-like texture. But that's kind of how it looks like. Somebody pressed together some clay and then it hardened to stone, and his finger is a little like weirdly malformed and misshaped.
Whoa.
Well, that wasn't as exciting as I was hoping it would be.
I have only just learned this.
It's pretty cool.
I have a question. When
I have so many questions as well.
When you bleed, does your blood come back to you?
In what way?
Does your blood crawl back to you like the roots of a tree moving?
Like growing legs and running its way back to me? I wish. No, it
No.
kind of just sits there.
When we lose blood, it only comes back if we get more blood from people.
Okay.
Just remind me, I'm sorry, I'm just having an image. Are you wearing the ring or are you not wearing the ring?
She is. Was.
Yes, I am
You
wearing
are
the ring.
ring.
Mhm.
It fits. And just you, Elspeth, make me a wits awareness. Continue the conversation.
Ooh.
I met someone very nice. Her
Oh?
name is Peggy.
Oh,
What's so nice about this, Peggy?
Sorry, only Betty gets to roll this. Go ahead and give me a wit streetwise.
Hmm.
Ooh, you fucking critted.
let's go.
That's crazy.
One success.
One success. You probably don't hang. Be honest. Do you think Betty hangs outside of Boston proper much? Or does she, like, in the towns surrounding, or does she mostly stay in the city of Boston proper?
I think she just roams around. She doesn't really stay anywhere. So
Okay. Then I would say, Waltham, there's only one little local library. You probably have heard because she's one of the only late night library opened later at night. You know Peggy as, that's that librarian. You don't know much about her, but you know she's the librarian of the local Waltham library.
Oh, the librarian lady. I don't know
Yes.
much about her.
She is very nice. She did not seem to care about the way that I looked and that I did not have an ID or that I would not let her take my picture. She said it was required if I wanted a library card.
More rules, more regulations. So that's what got you guys into this quarry.
I think
Well,
so, yes.
it seems it is already looking like home.
And as you like look out and gaze, out of the corner of your eye, as you like maybe gesture, Elspeth with that incredible roll, you catch your ring on your finger, and it looks like just out of the corner of your vision, the hair of the ring, the snakes, looks like they're writhing a little bit. As you snap
Cool.
your focus over to it, it doesn't seem to be moving. Did you look at the ring very much other than putting it on, or was it just like more of like I slap it on and I just wanted to like get out
She
of there?
didn't take too much time. Actually, might have looked at it more while she was the drive down. She would have observed it more
Okay,
on her
I
way
will say
here.
the one thing that you would have seen, and it's uh an inscription on the inside of the ring in Greek.
Ooh.
And you don't speak Greek.
Dang. Okay.
I'm assuming you like you
No,
know
I know some Latin for oblivion ceremonies, but I don't know Greek.
yeah, no, Greek is very specific. Yeah, it's in some Greek. You don't know what it says, but it's etched on the inside, and I will give you. Hang on, let me translate what I want in there, into actual Greek letters to see what it looks like. But yeah, go ahead, continue. You're like, and this is what we have, and yeah, you're looking at a quarry, a shitty ass, garbagey quarry.
It does look a little like home with the additional cans and strips of what is that? Doritos?
I um I told my sire about everything, David. I told Annika, and she took it surprisingly well. I thought I was gonna be in a lot of trouble. Um, but she seemed to I don't know. She's hard to read sometimes, but uh, I took my stuff and got ready to leave. She gave me some parting teachings on the way out, and now I'm here.
Well, at least someone got some learning out of this. I'm still very confused about the whole situation, but could we do this not standing out here by any chance?
Do you want to go into the quarry?
Yeah, give us a tour.
There are only a few mines, and I am concerned about Minecraft Marty.
If you're concerned,
Well, let me go meet this Minecraft Marty and I'll kick his butt out of here.
you
We're
know,
taking over now.
Betty, you would be the first to be able to detect Minecraft Marty. You've done it before.
What are you on about, Elspeth?
You knew about the ghost back at what's it called? Nightshade and Bloom.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, they were
you have a
very
gift.
loud.
You have a gift. So why don't you see if you can find our friend?
Should we worry about the man in the shopping cart?
And you look to him and you see he's breathing. At least he's alive.
Oh, right.
Oh,
there's
yes,
only-
we
there's-
should worry about him.
there's
He's
only
got some
ladders.
information I need, but he'll be all right.
Tomorrow. So here's your issue with him. The only way down is ladders. So David's probably gonna have to fly him down. And he's gonna wake up during the day. So you'll need him to be either unconscious or tied the fuck down somewhere. If you want
I
to
need some
interrogate him the next
information
day.
from him, and then we'll let him loose.
Okay. So should we throw him in a coffin somewhere, or
Well, if you have a few of those spare, sure.
what if he wakes up? Like, I mean, he looks pretty out. So unless he's gonna get up in the next like 3 hours, he might wake up.
We still have the table that the man was tied to.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Oh, the Bruja. Yeah, as far as you
Also,
know, the
what
Bruja
man?
is still the Bruja who was on it. You would have known of him, but you didn't know he woke up yet.
Okay, so we're just gonna tie this guy up till tomorrow night because you have some questions to ask him, Betty.
That sounds like a good deal to me.
I do not
Okay,
think that Janet will be very happy about this.
Oh, is Janet ever happy?
Sometimes she is, yes.
Well, you've probably seen the better side of Janet than I have then. Or perhaps it's my presence.
Yeah, and there's probably, I bet he probably does give a little cackle to that too.
yeah.
I guess my question is, what are you gonna do with this guy? You're gonna take him, do you want
Or
time
strap him to the table. Sure, yeah. I'm
You
down.
make your way, because you got a fucking Bruja like strapped to that just in case. It's definitely gonna hold a mortal at the very least. You make your way down the stairs. It's in Janet's room, correct? The table. You just open the storage crate and you see Janet's room set up. As you make your way down, like I said, I described to you earlier, but Elspeth and Betty, you would see each level has an access tunnel that probably leads to a ladder on the way out, as well as a mine. That some of them are shallow. One of them is shallow. Two of them are much deeper. The two on the higher levels are deeper than the one that on the bottom.
I'm sure Mother Hen is going to yell at us later. Where is she by any chance?
She needed to go speak with some people about her sons. They will not
Oh,
be staying
what
with us
did
anymore.
What happened to her sons?
Everything was taken from her.
What did you all do exactly?
We went to New York. We
Yes, I gathered that.
apparently broke the masquerade many times over.
By doing what exactly?
We broke into a man's house.
A specific man? Why were you breaking into this man's house? I do love myself a little larceny.
We thought Magpie was there. I think it was Magpie's family.
It was his parents.
Yeah, but he
And
wasn't
then you
there.
got
I was
shot
telling
in
you,
the chest
I was
and nothing
shot.
happened.
Well, I got the shot part. I didn't understand why you got shot. So you just broke into some random person's house?
It was not random. It was Magpie's house.
Well, was Magpie there?
No.
No.
Then why would you break into a house without the thing that you need to gather from the house?
We thought he was there.
Because I was
Did
worried.
you stake out the house and watch and see him enter this home?
Well, we've learned.
Leon
Betty.
tracked him back like, yeah.
If you wish to be of more assistance, you should not go missing for 4 to 5 days at a time.
Well, sometimes I'm gathering information and my sense of travel is not the same as yours, Mr. Winged Man. Takes me a little bit more time with my cart.
I understand.
If you want to share your wings with me, then perhaps we can go a little faster.
I would like that, but I do not think Janet would like that very much since we are living here with her.
Ah, yes. Mother Hen always has her rules.
You are, I mean, technically, though I don't know if Elspeth would care or David would care. You're all like, there's nobody who's in charge of this place. Like, yes, Janet is going to take over it and build a business, but until then, technically, you're all equals living here.
Well, the upside is that the Bruja man is no longer here. He is gone.
Who's the Bruja man?
The guy who got his throat blown out from behind, the guy who was like got his neck shot out.
I don't
He
think
was-
Maybe Betty wasn't around for
Betty
that.
was not
Yeah.
around for any of that.
I asked several times already. I'm like, who's this
Oh, I
Bruja
thought
man?
you
And no
knew.
one
I thought
has
you knew.
described.
I thought out of
I'm
game
getting
you
this
knew.
story as chaotically as Betty tells the story.
That's awesome. Oh my god, she has no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, probably
Again,
clicks right now for both
Who is this
Elspeth and
Bruja
like.
fellow you all keep talking about that you strapped to a table?
He came to Janet's
And you're worried
business.
about me strapping this person to a table when you've already done it with another.
Janet, Betty, if you would like information, you must stop talking.
Ooh. Actually, Elspeth is smiles at David's snippiness because he doesn't usually act like this. He's getting
I
more.
think Betty
He's
also
been around
smiles
Janet
at
for
that.
a little
he's
while right
learning.
now.
He's learning.
He came to Janet's business. He seemed very upset, and as the door was answered from him knocking, there was a gunshot, and his face was destroyed. He had to stay, and we fed him.
Who shot him with the shotgun?
We do not know.
Oh, he when you opened the door, his face was already like that.
Basically, in
I'll
a
rebuild the scene.
millisecond.
Yeah, there was a knock at the door. One of the boys opened the door at Janet's house. On the other side was a Bruja who was here to speak to them. He didn't get through this first sentence before there was a loud bang. His entire lower jaw was blown out. He fell forward, and one of the boys saw what looked like a silhouette of somebody vanish after that. They took him in, healed him, and we're like going to ask him questions. And that's where David's at. Like, that's like the scene. That's all that happened. They didn't see. And they tried to get into the footage last session or the session before that. And they did, but it was like a mix of like code and crazy Malkavian nonsense. And their theory is potentially Nosferatu because they can glitch cameras when they're in. So can La Sombra. I think those are the two leads that they think is like they're. So from that's sort of to like put the scene in like a perspective that's not as chaotic.
I think that Leon said that it could be a wizard, but he also said that he does not believe in magic.
More magic, more magic. I think I've seen enough magic for the night.
But he is gone now, after he became friendly. I do not think that he was friends with Janet.
Well, did you get to ask him the questions you wanted after strapping him to a table?
Janet did, yes.
And what were the answers to these questions? I feel like I'm pulling your teeth.
You want me to recap? Or are you good?
It was fortuitous. They seemed very happy with the results. I was only curious about the Bruja. I wanted to know why the first Bruja I met told me to fuck myself.
Well, I told you not to talk to him. That has nothing to do with Bruja necessarily. Well, a lot of them are grumpy.
We will likely be seeing him again, if not for any other reason. I fed upon someone that was very important to him, and now she is dead.
We really want to be seeing someone again who has been shot in the face by something that we cannot see. Next, you know what? One of us is going to be shot in the face by whatever that is.
I hope not.
Well, if we keep mingling with them, then that is going to be your fate.
I do not know how I am supposed to feel about this.
Well, you don't have to know how to feel about it.
Let me show you where Minecraft Marty stays.
And you take her to the second level mining tunnel that you found Jump Scare James in. And you just bring her into the tunnel. It's extremely quiet, echoey. Elspeth, what do you do? Well, we'll cut back to that for a second. But Elspeth, we see you go into just it's not really will you pick one of the storage crates?
Yes.
One of them has a lot of shit in it. That's going to be Janet's. One has like a nightstand and 12 books.
Yeah, and the other one's empty, which is yours.
Yours.
Yeah.
I will just quickly drop my suitcase in there, take out a few things, but I'm not quite making it home yet.
Yeah. No, you just got here. It's uncomfortable and unfriendly. So when you go into that tunnel, I just got to know, what does Betty do when she goes
Sense
in
the
there?
unseen. I'm going to try to
go ahead. Give me a sense the
commune
unseen
with this. Okay, so the one that is for ghosts specifically, which one is that? Because
well, you don't have the one for
or...
ghosts specifically. I just gave you a little something with your sense the unseen before.
No. I think it's depending. You either use wits or resolve, depending on if it's ghost
you're right.
or
Yes, you're correct. Yes,
or
you're
like
correct.
an obfuscate.
Yeah. It's the let me see. Detecting, obfuscate, wits aspect is what I'm looking for.
Wits aspects. That's what I was looking for. So wits instead of resolve. All right. Oh, only one success.
You sit there, and we see our camera lingers on the outside of the mine as we see your silhouettes walk in. You stand there, and David's like, "This is where Minecraft Marty haunts." It's like he's very like matter of fact about it. And we see Betty sit there. Okay, she concentrates. It's a free ability if I remember correctly. Yep.
Yep,
and,
it is.
You spend a minute, and then as you open your eyes, you just feel the gentle breeze of the outside breeze in, and nothing else.
I think Betty's actually like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. No concentration. Yeah, she's like lights a cigarette.
That's her like meditation.
She's like,
yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's exactly what I would say. She's like,
Well, there's nothing. I don't think there's any Minecraft Marty here that you have to worry about, David.
Well, Jump Scare
Did you-
James seemed pretty confident that he was in here
Now,
somewhere.
who is Jump Scare James? Where are they at? Are they in a different hall?
No,
Got scared off. You saw him.
he was
sprint
chased
by you.
away
Chased away to where?
to leave. Janet
this a
was telling
human?
him that if he did not get home soon, he would call his mother.
So some kind of human child.
I do not know his age. I did not ask. He panicked
Well,
more
when they're
he saw
running away,
myself
it's hard
and
to
ran
ask
faster.
questions.
Leon called them a content creator.
Yes, he said that they were lecherous content creators.
Oh, one of those type.
You would hear this, Elspeth, as they're walking back. That Jump Scare James is a content creator.
Oh, he's probably one of those like ghost hunter. They get like the spirit box and all of those things. They try to commune with the ghosts. It's so cute.
All he had was a selfie stick and his
Oh.
phone.
you know, they have like things like Ouija board and it's cute.
His only tools are now in the water down there.
And you actually
Oh.
look down there and you see his destroyed phone and a selfie stick, and that's it.
Oh,
Janet was very upset,
About which part?
mostly about him being here, uninvited.
oh. Well, it seems like there's been a lot of people based on all of the needles on the ground and other
I hope
things.
so. Those people
you
come
clink like
back.
an empty beer can, some Pabst
Yeah.
blue ribbon garbage. Else you want
I would like to
sponsor us?
host more of
Fantastic.
those types of parties.
I think we need to make sure we like properly barricade this place and we don't have any other guests other than the unseen.
Leon is coming back with Magpie, and they will be fortifying.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
so you found him? You did find him and brought him back here.
Yes, we do have Magpie.
Okay.
This
And
is
how did that go?
this is why I was shot.
Well, yes. Well, no.
Elspeth,
Wait.
I do not think that Betty listens to me.
I think you're not telling the story in a way that makes sense. You didn't tell me you actually found him. You told me that you didn't find him, that he wasn't in the house, and that is why you got shot. And now you're telling me you found him and he is here.
I wanted
and that
to
is what
continue,
there's a gap between
But
you
instead,
getting
you
shot
continued.
and him being here.
Okay, I will go elsewhere.
They separate, and as you separate, you hear a couple of distant doors of a car shut on the first floor. And whether you make your way up or you're just kind of around, you would hear the voice of a woman that you are not familiar with say, "Now where was this woman, honey? Who broke your phone? She's gonna owe me a lot of money."
Oh
And-
no.
When you hear that, we cut to black.
Oh my
And
God.
we'll deal with that next week. Thank
Lord.
you all so much for being here. We'll be back next week with another episode. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be here, or at least enough people to play. However many, whoever's here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so.
I think it's the same group.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be good. Yeah, we'll pick up next week then and see how you deal with that. We're off to go do an after show. If you want the after shows, audio, video, however format you want, head over to patreon.com/podbynight where you can get them. Like I said, last week's was an hour. Don't think it'll be an hour this time, but you never know. There's a lot to Betty's a very confused woman right now. So thank you guys again. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.